Hello guys and welcome back to the Football Social, where today we're covering two huge games in the Premier League. It's Arsenal versus Wolves and Villa against Liverpool. As you can see, Dave Jackson is absolutely ecstatic despite Arsenal crashing out the Carabao Cup midweek. Hell of a game that. So they're looking to bounce back. Villa looking to gain some momentum after their Carabao Cup victory. And I'm joined by four titans of, I was going to say the YouTube game. Jermaine, you need to get on it, OK?
I do.
You need to launch your own channel.
I need to jump on it, don't I?
Dave Jackson's going to be covering the Arsenal game. Jermaine Pennant is going to be watching Villa versus Liverpool.
Get on the pool.
We've got Will Brazier, the one and only, on the rest of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and of course Dougie Critchley, EFD's finest, on the socials. All right, let's have a look at today's fixtures in full. There's already been one result, and that is Bournemouth against Manchester United. The Cherries clipping the... As we said, and the best of the rest, which Will be covering: Brighton, Norwich, Man City, Southampton, Sheffield, Burnley, West Ham, Newcastle, Watford versus Chelsea later at 5:30 p.m. This is the table. The bottom half, at the very least. Nice. Watford remain rooted despite a slight upturn in form recently. Norwich and Southampton make up the rest of the relegation candidates at the moment. Tottenham, 11th, and that's why Adam Smith isn't here today. Let's have a look at the top off. Liverpool sitting pretty, Jermaine.
Looks beautiful.
Confident this season? Think they've progressed since last season? Think they've got enough mettle to maintain that number one place?
How do you better last season? They've just basically continued last season's form, but hopefully this time it's good enough to, take the title.
Absolutely. Let's have a quick look at the Villa lineup then.
All together.
Yeah, sorry, not to bring the tone down there. Went from Liverpool straight into the Aston Villa lineup. I'm sure there's some people watching that do care. Tom Heaton in goal. Gilbert, Engels, Mings and Target. Mate, Target starting to get a run in the side, which you'd like to see. Neil Taylor has maybe been the weak link in that defensive unit. McKinn, Nakamba and Douglas Luiz making up a very competent midfield three. El Ghazi, Wesley and Trezeguet making up the rest of that side. And Liverpool's pretty much...
strong team.
As is. Lallana coming in. Of course, he did start in the midweek game. And the front three back together. Mo Salah fit once again. Jermaine, does that make you tingle?
Oh, it makes everything flutter. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful to see. Just can't wait for to kick off.
We're on a little chat off screen there, and you were saying you think that Aston Villa might go a little bit more defensively. They've been quite attack-minded at the start of the season. We know that Dean Smith's quite an attack-minded manager. I mean,
Well, it depends. If Liverpool get an early goal, then, all hell could break loose. But I feel they're good. Teams now playing against Liverpool, they are being defensive. Even the top teams, Man U at home, there was a sitting back. So, teams like Aston Villa will definitely do that, try and unsettle Liverpool. Hopefully they don't, bite that bullet and, start making mistakes, trying to rush things and panic. Just settle, be composed, hopefully get an early goal, and then all these goals start coming in. Come on, you Reds.
I mean, we have seen them get late results, haven't we, this season? So they've remained measured. There's been no signs of panic. Talking of panic, let's have a look at the Arsenal lineup. Because, of course, Xhaka, as Emery said, pre-game, not included in the matchday squad. I think he wants to shield his club captain from the fans, let's say. Dave, what do you make of this? Tierney's come in.
I'm extremely happy.
You're finally seeing the lineup that you wanted, right?
Well, I probably would have played Pepe over Ceballos. The only other player there you'd say to come in to make that team a bit stronger would be Hector Bellerin at right back. But that three-man midfield is definitely our best three midfielders. So Torreira actually has a defensive midfielder. I'm not trying to play as a number 10. Guendouzi and then Ozil, which is a little bit of freedom. I'm extremely excited. I am also tingling and fluttering. So, yeah.
A lot of tingling on the right-hand side of the studio, yeah.
It's all going off over here.
The sofa's just going to be vibrating.
Yeah. We've got some infestation on the sofa. We managed to get that checked. Let's have a top-line look at the other games, Will. Is there one in particular that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to West Ham versus Tottenham, Chris.
Oh, yeah, why is that, mate?
It
Please.
just feels like a vintage, traditional barnstormer. I think there'll be lots of goals in that game. I do like the look of Sheffield United as well. Sheffield United, Burnley, very hard to call. You have to be a football purist to be enjoying that one, I think, today.
It's going to be ugly.
It's gonna be, yeah, that's why I'm watching it. But yeah, looking forward to it, mate.
Critch Mundo, what about yourself?
Yeah, well, get involved, get as many questions as possible in the comment section on both YouTube streams, and I'll endeavour to ask them to our lovely panel. We've actually had the first one in from Ranjit Kaur, who's asked, is Pepe good enough for Arsenal? Jacko, what do you make of that?
Yes, it's going to take a bit of time. There are very few players come into the Premier League and hit the ground running. She needs a bit of time. There's been a few glimpses, particularly in like the Europa League. He is definitely good enough, and I probably would have played him over Ceballos today. And then when you have a front three of Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang, there's not many better in world football. Yeah, I said it.
Wow, I like it.
I think people have been harsh on Pepe
Yeah.
to start. Still a decent amount of goal involvements.
Arsenal
Free
fans
kicks
are
are
harsh.
really going to help him.
Here it is. Hold on.
Fans.
It's the price tag. It's the
Yeah,
price
yeah,
tag.
agreed.
That's what it is. When you're spending that much money, you're expecting to come off the ground running straight away. You're
He didn't
expecting
ask him to pay that amount of money, though, did he?
No, I know, but that's just it's part
modern
and
world that
parcel
we
of the game. Yeah. So if you're going for a big transfer, I know you don't ask for that, but if you're getting a big transfer fee like that, then the fans expect immediate impact.
Talking of the fans, we have got some live scenes for you at home from the respective grounds. Here is Villa Park. They're coming out the tunnel right now. There's McGinn. What a start to the season he's had. What is it like to play at Villa Park? Historic old stadium, Jermaine. I'm not asking you, Dave. I don't know what you're looking at.
You just deal with your tingles.
It's daunting. It's a big ground. A lot of fans and the atmosphere. It's always rocking. So it's going to be a little bit daunting for Liverpool. So they just got to be composed and, like I said, get an early goal, and that'll be very nice on this sofa if they do that.
Well, you said very nice then. You are very relaxed right now. What else, Dave? So we're going to get some scenes at the Emirates now.
We got Brazil.
OK, I mean...
So Aubameyang's captain, mate. What do you think of that?
I mean,
You're asking me.
he was vice captain.
We've got 5 captains apparently. That's
a huge
nonsense.
Not a huge surprise.
Yeah, it's stupid.
What do Arsenal have to do here to kind of appease the fans? You have to win emphatically, or just getting 3 points?
we just need to win. We just need to win. All this stuff
two wins in your last 8 Premier League games.
is not great. To be honest, we're so far off the top. We just need to win, get back into the Champions League, and then we can try and move on from that. So that's what we do. All these games between now and probably about February time, when it comes thick and fast, just get the wins under your belts, get the 3 points. Try to maybe start to create a bit of a gap between us and that 6, 7, 8 teams, and then we can go. We can definitely go again from that.
I mean, your home form has been better. I think 13 wins from the last 17.
Yeah.
So, little silver lining there, despite a rocky start of the season. We've got a group bet, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, the group.
Here
bet.
it is. Come on, the boys. Everyone has picked a winner from each game. Dave has gone for a home win, no doubt. Jermaine?
I think Mane's getting the first, and then Firmino is due a goal. So Mane.
Had a really good start,
Firmino.
didn't it? Went off like a rocket, and it's dried up a little bit recently. Yeah.
Mane,
Great.
Firmino, Salah assist as well.
Okay.
There's
so
my 3 players
Just that
involved.
forward trident causing
Yeah.
absolute havoc. I've gone for Brighton. I think Graham Potter's been a little bit unlucky, actually, not to pick up more points. Good start to his tenure at the Seagulls. Doogie, you've gone for a home win. Sheffield United, the impress you at the start of the season?
Yeah, they have, massively. I think everyone was... I picked them to finish 20th at the start of the year in my predictions, and I've just got egg on my face as it stands. I think they've been really solid defensively. Lys Mousset's come into a bit of form recently, made a massive difference. They play a Burnley side who, while solid, might not, create that much away from home at a place like Sheffield United in that intimidating environment. So I'm fully backing Sheffield United today.
Okay. I mean, that collection of results would equate to 29-1. Odds obviously are accurate at the time of recording. If you want to see more T's and C's, Go to the website, have to be 18 to bet along. Goes without saying at this point. All the teams are starting to huddle. Dave, any nerves, any apprehension?
No,
Do you think it was the right decision with Xhaka? That's what I wanted to ask you.
I think, well, the whole situation is we should never boo our captain. However, when your number gets called, get off the pitch. The game was drawing. We needed to win. Get off. That's
Okay.
it. Simple as that. I think it probably was the right decision to take him out. I think you've taken him out now, so you've admitted that there's some fault there. So I think he probably now has to be stripped of his captaincy.
Yeah.
Do you not have some sympathy with his response when he's saying, his wife's been
I don't agree with booing your own players. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that you boo your own player. But just don't. Because there's because of Arsenal fan TV, and then I was going to swear then, right? They've created such a toxic atmosphere at the Emirates, and I think he's probably been one of the players that have paid the price for that. You should never boo your own players.
But you've looked at it. You're looking at it from a competitive standpoint, where you're like, get off the pitch. We need the result. Hurry up. Whereas on a human level, it's impossible if you're not a decent person to sympathise with him getting dog's amount of abuse.
I've got a few friends that were at the game and who were saying that when his number was called, he was actually cheered. It wasn't like he immediately got booed. But
there was some ironic cheers, wasn't there, in his defence?
Maybe a little bit. But again, like they pay the money, they go, just get off.
Jermaine, how high is the temptation to respond to the fans when you've been getting constant? As an ex-player, what did you make of his reaction? As a former player?
Look, I can understand why, basically he just... It's like a ticking time bomb, and it's got to a point where I can't take it anymore, and it's exploded. Yeah. There's been times in my career where I've been that close to have a nibble out of a response from a fan or own fans or whatnot, giving you dogs abuse. But you've got to be professional, because stuff like this, if you react, stuff like this will happen. So
do you think it'll be disappointing that he's actually added fuel to the fire? Because
oh my goodness!
What happened there at Villa Park, Will? You were watching.
El Ghazi's worked his way through the middle, and he's got a shot right, Alisson, and he's parried it away. Not actually my game, guys. So if you could do your job, that would actually be great. I've got 4 to watch here, guys.
It's the same thing happened as Spurs yesterday. They scored a goal within 40-some seconds. So you please fix up, Liverpool. Right?
Wake up.
Yeah, wake up.
Just to touch back on Jack and the captain situation, do you think Emery's got to take his fair share of blame then? Because it did take him so long to announce Xhaka as captain. That no doubt frustrated Xhaka. And he is already... There's been 5 players that have shared the armband this season.
I think a lot of the frustration...
Do you think anyone of them are going to feel really backed?
No, I think the frustration is probably more... It should have been more fairly aimed at Emery rather than Xhaka. I think he's... I'm not the biggest fan of Unai Emery.
Okay. And you were very, very loyal to Arsene Wenger.
Of course I was.
Dave's just doing this because he wants to tie into the narrative of getting Rob holding the armband as quickly as possible.
It'll happen.
Which is a special on Scott. No.
That would be a special.
OK, both games have kicked off then, as you probably know, at home. So Dave will be checking in with you in a moment about the Arsenal-Wolves game. But Liverpool already looking pretty active here.
Yeah, they're looking good off a little slow start, but this is back to business now. Business has resumed, so the control for the neutrals and for the fans. Obviously, it was a very young team, which is good for the young players, and also good for Klopp to, have a view on the youngsters and see how they can perform in big games.
Did you spot any youth that tickled your pick up?
Ryan Brewster looks good. He looks a very sharp, direct striker, and the right back Jones. Yeah. He looks like a new Trent Alexander-Arnold. So,
Was it Curtis Jones that came on, the midfielder, like 3/4 of the way through the game? When he came on, I thought he looked like an instant baller, to be honest. He was absolutely class. What were you umphing at there then, Will?
Strong start by Brighton. They're at home against Norwich, and it's Connolly who's been in the team, obviously fantastic against Everton the other week. Got to the edge of the area, low-footed drive, took a deflection, and Brighton have got a corner. So strong start from the Seagulls.
It's great to have you back at the 3 p.m. kickoff as well.
Absolutely, I live for this.
Football.
Lads, we've had a question from Jack McWilliams. Make sure you're getting your questions into the comments. This is probably aimed at Jermaine. He's asked, thoughts on Lallana starting today? Did that goal against Man United save his Liverpool career for you, Jermaine?
I don't know about saving, because he's a good player. Yeah. I think it definitely kick-started his season. And I think it's a good start, because, with Jordan Henderson and Fabinho and Wijnaldum, it's kind of a defensive-ish midfield. So with Lallana in there, a little bit more creativity, which Liverpool do crave in the midfield. Up top, you can't beat it. Best in the world, probably. Yeah, I said that. And, but in midfield, a little bit more creativity, you know, just to ice on the cake. So I think it's a good move.
I think fair enough, because he when Klopp took over. And he was England's Player of the Year, I think, in 2016 as well. Had a series of injuries and has really struggled to break through into a side that are pretty much dominating the Premier League, bar City, and won a Champions League.
Wasn't 2016 also the Euros?
Exactly.
Where we had a horrific tournament. So.
Exactly.
I came second.
I was going to say, I think Will was top 5.
It just doesn't show. It does show, you know, his decline, or in terms of his game time and his sort of standing in that Liverpool squad. So I'm pleased that he's coming back into it.
Great question there. Keep him coming for sure. What have you got your mouth open out there, Will?
I was just trying to get air to make sure my brain's working to watch 4 games. Just taking in many
I thought
deep
something
breaths.
particularly noteworthy had happened. Talking of noteworthy, I've just seen a close-up of Kieran Tierney. What an absolute legend in the making, David. How have you,
We have not started particularly well. It is all Wolves.
I was going to say, how have you started? Not well, OK?
It's now a corner to Wolves. They also had a chance early on where they broke down our right, their left, and probably should have got at least a shot on target, and it didn't. But yeah, it's a now corner to Wolves, so I'll let you know what goes on with that in a sec.
I think Wolverhampton's record against Arsenal is fairly poor. I think 1 victory is out of the last 21 games.
Yeah, we were lucky to get a draw with them last season in this fixture, and we lost to them away, so it should be fun.
But Wolves, it's like...
Just ending that mid-sentence.
Sorry, just that, Wolves, it's like, you know, when the Premier League started and all records began, Wolves, you have to like start all records began when they got taken over by the Portuguese guys. Yeah. It's a different setup. It's not the Steve Bull era.
Yeah, Mick McCarthy's a distant memory.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it? So I think Wolves fans have moved on. Jimenez particularly dangerous on the road as well. I think 7 of his last 10 goals have come on the road. Has he made a decent start, Dave? Has he caused him some trouble?
He has, but he's breaking away now. Going to pace. Can he put Guendouzi in?
Is anyone else up there with him except for Guendouzi?
That's good play. Put him in.
I think Adama... Oh, what a ball. No. I think Adama Traore chasing at Aubameyang back there. And if there's one player you don't want on the chasing you down the recovery run, it's Adama Traore.
Jacko, Liad Hassan has asked, how long do you think Emery will last?
Very good question. I think he'll get to the end of the season. I think he'll get to the end of the season. We don't like to chop and change our managers. I think if he can get Champions League football, then I think he's done particularly well. I think his sole aim this season is to get Champions League football, and if he can do that, then he's done okay. Whether or not he's someone to take us on and potentially challenge in a couple of years, I don't think he is. So it'll be interesting.
Salah's in the box.
What's happening here then, Jermaine?
A little counter-attack from Liverpool. Firmino played in Salah. Salah in the box, tried a turn but got tackled. Corner to Liverpool.
Snuffed out by Tyrone Mings. What start to the season he's had.
Go on.
Yeah, great story for him, isn't it?
What do you make of his rise?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It just shows youngsters hope that, you know, no matter what you are in your career, you know, football is not... If that's your path you want to take, it can be achieved. You know, he was an accountant, you know, many years ago, then non-league, and now he's playing for England. So there's a little lesson for you kids. If you've got dreams, do not give up.
And he is captain today. Inspirational words there from Jermaine Pennant. It brings a little tear to the eye. Diogo Jota also looks like he's on the borderline crying. That is a bit of a nasty challenge there from Callum Chambers. Has he been booked?
It's not a nasty challenge. It was a foul.
I mean, it's horribly timed, David.
Well, he had to bring it.
Do you know what? I tell you what, Alisson, it's like a sweeper, isn't he, Alisson?
So what happened there? Aston Villa breaking away?
Yeah, it was a little counter-attack again for Aston Villa. Jordan Henderson tried to play it back to Alisson, but it was very short.
A bit under hit, wasn't it?
And Wesley was running through one-on-one, but Alisson came sweeping out with a sliding tackle.
This is a chance for Wolves here. They've got a free kick just outside the box.
Giammattini on the free kick.
Well done, Burn Leno.
OK. Now Burn Leno's collected. Let's get another question from social. Any standout questions?
Conal Taylor has asked, do you think Eddie Howe could become a manager for a top 6 club after that United win?
Specifically after that win?
Asked this. It's like...
I feel like Eddie Howe's been on the cusp of going to a bigger club for a little while. Jermaine, can you place him in the top 6?
He's doing a fantastic job for Bournemouth, so I don't see why not. With the players he's got, the resources he's got, he constantly keeps Bournemouth in the league, especially in the top half as well. and they do get big results against big teams as well. So there's no reason why he couldn't do a fantastic job at our top 4 team or top 16.
I kind of feel like, what more could he do with Bournemouth? I mean,
he's not going to get them in the.
You can see that players are getting so much better under him. Look at Josh King, Callum Wilson over the last couple of years, David Brooks last campaign, and he's done it. They're performing pretty well this campaign without Ryan Fraser playing to his best, without David Brooks being available. Diego Rico's playing very well at left back as well. Like, players seem to be getting a lot better under him. I'm not sure whether he'd go to one of, like, a traditional heavyweight of a Man United or an Arsenal or a Chelsea, but if Pochettino was to leave mid-season, I don't think Eddie Howe would be the worst appointment. I think, fair play to him.
Yeah, because he's got Bournemouth playing good football as well. From the minute they got into the league, he had them playing good football, and he wasn't scared. Doesn't matter who he's playing against, they will, still play good football.
Exactly.
All right. Did we have a chance in your game then, Dave? Is that what I heard from you?
No, Villa? I thought Villa were going to score.
Were you temporarily watching Villa? OK, lovely stuff. Getting a wires crossed again there, never mind. Will, what's going on in your three-pen kickoff?
There's no clear-cut chances, but a few observations for you so far, Chris.
Please.
Newcastle have been very, very dominant at West Ham. The ball's been in West Ham's half for the entirety of the half, really. And Brighton have started a lot more livelier in that game, but no clear-cut chances yet, nothing to report. And I made the bold decision of changing my captain on fantasy football to Sterling rather than Aguero.
I am vouch for that as well. Me too.
Let me shake your hand there, mate.
Sterling, if you're watching this, right?
I mean, given that he's been one of the form players of the season, lads,
it's just annoying because
not all that brave, but
Pep's just really insensitive when it comes to fantasy football. Like, you either play Jesus or you play Aguero. But
He's lost me about 40 points in the past couple of weeks.
Exactly. And he needs to think about fantasy football.
He does.
If he wants to be a real success in England.
Yeah, it's quite a shame that Gabriel Jesus isn't starting. He's probably one of the best forwards not to actually clock up a meaningful amount of minutes, isn't it? Every season, it seems.
Yeah, consistently linked with the move away as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he's he's got more game time in the last month or so, but he needs to be starting regularly for a top side now. And there's been links with Atletico Madrid over the last couple of years. There's been links with Barcelona. I'd be really surprised if Gabriel Jesus stayed at Manchester City for another campaign if his game time didn't.
I think bigger teams. Oh, hello.
Sorry.
Well, on the subject of strikers, before we go to Will for whatever he was squawking about, we have a first price boost of the day, gentlemen. Yes, bringing back the Viking clap for that. It's Firmino to score the first goal, 6-1 odds, accurate at the time of recording and subject to change. Check out the website for more details. You have to be 18 to bet, but 6-1, pretty generous if he can recreate some of that early season form. I think we still are fairly early in the season, aren't we? So. David, Mesut Ozil, is he making an impression? He's on the ball now.
He's done all right. I'll tell you what, Guendouzi's arguably been our best player this season, and he's having a bit of a stinker today. He's been giving the ball away quite a lot. I think we forget how young he is. Maybe he's a little bit tired. But I'm hoping, again, when he's playing alongside Ozil can have a little word with him, say just calm down, keep it simple. Because I've been so impressed with him this season. But he's given the ball away one or two times already. But Arsenal slowly starting to get hold of the ball a bit more now, starting to come into the game a bit. So positive vibes are coming back.
Lovely. I like that. Very positive over there. And, of course, Guendouzi shortlisted for the Golden Boy Award. Norwich hit the bar, Will.
Yeah, I think it was a Stiepermann. He worked the ball down the right-hand channel, cut into his left. You boys can see it here now, and it's like it's not a power shot, it's like a little dink, and it's
like getting out of the bunker, isn't it?
His little sandwich, chipped it out, and it's come off the bar. But just as I said, Brighton were playing well. Norwich gone up the other end. And gents, what's the time? We are nearly 15 minutes in. And Southampton have not conceded a goal at the Etihad. So, big shout out to all the fans travelling all the way to Manchester to see what could be an annihilation.
Stiepermann actually, barring Timu Pukki, I think he's one of the few Norwich players who's having over 1.5 shots a game, Dougie. But let's move on to Ralph Hasenhüttl, as we were just openly mocking Southampton there. What have you made of their start to the campaign? Has he been unlucky? Is he on the chopping block? Because he did a good job last season. He did a good job in Germany prior to that, and we back him as a manager, right?
Yeah, I mean, the stats suggest that they should be a lot higher than they currently are. I think they're 7th for expected points. I think their attack is the 5th best by expected goals as well.
They've scored! Southampton have scored!
Do we have a first goal? Come on, boys!
Yes!
The commentators come! Look at that! Now face, Will.
I love a fried egg right on my face. Just as I said, annihilation. They've gone up the other end, and I think it's James Ward-Prowse. It was a shot from the edge of the area. Edison's not dealt with it at all. It's bobbled out, and it's been bundled in the back of the net, I believe. Well, as everything will be checking for VAR. Let's have a little instinct look here. Shot from the edge of the area. He's onside. He's miles onside. Man. Adams thought they could, so...
Edison's dropped the title.
Oh, my
An
God.
uncharacteristic mistake there from Edison, spilling it into Ward-Prowse's path. And
Yellow card.
apparently we're right in the narrative in the studio, because there we have it, talking about Southampton's attack. And they go and
penalty.
score.
Penalty.
We have a penalty.
It's a free kick.
All happening at the moment.
I think it's a free
No,
kick.
free kick.
Will,
free
that's
kick.
5 yards out the box.
Jordan's in my head. It's a 100% pen.
He is throwing you clean under the bus there.
No, he wasn't. He's a top bloke. But no, who'd have thought that? Definitely not me. Southampton winning 1-0.
Yeah, just as I was saying as well.
Oh, sorry.
Stick with him.
Sky bet. What's the odds on that?
Well, I can get them for you shortly, Jermaine. So.
The big debate in the West Ham Newcastle game was that they were saying it was last man when Almiron got brought down. So instead of a yellow, it could have been a red. And he's having a chat with Dion.
There.
It was about I tell you what, this
That's
is
a free kick.
I bloody love.
I'm watching all the games as well. I'll tell you what, Aston Villa have started very strong in this game. When I said they're going to sit back, they've done the absolute opposite. They are pressing Liverpool everywhere on the pitch, not giving them no time. Trying to unsettle them, but they can't keep this up for a full 90 minutes, that's for sure. So you keep doing this, Villa, and get tired in the next 20. Thank you.
Chris, dangerous free kick here for
go.
Newcastle.
Go on then, over to Will. Over to Will for the free kick. Who's standing over? Is it John Joe?
You got John Joe there, and then I'm just looking to have a look who the other one is.
Jetro Williams.
Jetro Williams, correct. We've got a right footer or a left footer. Screams left footer. It's on the right-hand side of the box.
Come on, Shelby.
Direct free kick. No, not Fabianski, is it? It's a Jimenez in goal. He's very central at the moment. A bit dodgy with that one.
Bit of space on that near post, isn't there?
I think, yeah, a bit of
Shelby's eyeing it up. No, it's
he's
across.
crossed it, and it's... Oh, it's back in. Second ball!
Hello!
1-0 to the tune!
Goals galore. What's happened?
I can't believe I just celebrated a Newcastle
You
goal.
did, you're
I'm a
up.
traitor.
And we have footage of...
Goal!
no,
Sheffield United is back! Oh my God! Goals galore! Give me 4 games. The goals will come at 1-0 to Newcastle. Second phase, you've always got to be very aware of it, and they haven't been. Shelby with the ball to the back post, headed across in the 6-yard. Kieran Clark rising like a salmon, but if you don't eat fish, you can have a tofu product. And then Sheffield United have scored. Ball down the left-hand side, really well worked. I think it's Mousset or McGoldrick. Ball across the area, comes to the back post. I think it's John Fleck. No, Lundstrom putting it in at the back post.
Really composed finish.
So you're right, that is McGoldrick with the assist. Really nice,
You take a breather.
clinical finish tucked in at the near post from Lundstrom. He's had a great start to the season. That was Joel Linton who got the assist in the Newcastle game, and he's been starved of service. He's been desperately unlucky at the start of this season to only have, 1 or 2 goal contributions to his name, so great to see him get the assist as well. What a 5 minutes as well.
That's what the
all
football
going
social is all about.
Liverpool haven't scored, but I thought I'd celebrate, join in. Don't want to be left out.
When there's goals, there's drama.
You're back.
You're back now.
We're back on.
And we have the Liverpool game back in the studio. Jermaine Pennant not just going quiet there and joining with the rest of us and neglecting the Liverpool game. We will be reporting back on that as soon as possible.
Hey! Yellow card for that Wolves player, mate.
Is that... Yeah, prime analysis there. Dave, what's
Thank you
happening?
very much. Well, he's cracking in the back of him. There's absolutely no need for it. I think he should have been booked, but the referees chose not to go to...
Great
chance for
great
Mo.
save from Liverpool, from Eton. Free kick.
Pierre!
Yeah. It's all going off in the 2 games.
Go on then, Jermaine, you
it was
take over for a minute.
It was a ball from midfield over the top to Salah. He volleyed it on to try and tap it in, but a great last-minute ditch tackle from Tyrone Mings.
Tell you what, Tom Heaton is very lucky that Tyrone Mings was positioned where he was, because he put that right in front of goal, didn't he? Dave, what happened in the Arsenal game?
A lovely little dink over the top from David Luiz. The ball was falling to Aubameyang. He's
Taking the chance first time, and it was a save. So, but at least we've registered a shot on target. It's coming, it's building.
A shot on target, okay.
The train is leaving the station, Christopher Howell, mate.
Yeah.
We're building momentum. The steam is pumping.
Oh, what's in that coffee, Dave?
I don't know, but this tea, there was a load of bits in it, and I've just finished it off. My mouth was disgusting now.
OK, too much information. Will, has the excitement continued in the rest of the game?
Yeah, Brighton nearly equalised. I think, is that...
Like Connolly? Is it maybe Connolly?
No, 26. One of the lads from Brighton was having a fantastic run, mazy run. Could have pulled the trigger, bang. Could have pulled the trigger, bang. Didn't do it. And then fantastic save from Tim Crawley, who's in fantastic form. Well, he let in 3, but he saved 2 penalties, so make up your mind if he is in fantastic
And you
form.
put in the Football Daily Team of the Week for
Yes.
some abuse.
Wow, yeah, that football... I will be speaking to Temps again because I got a lot of abuse on my Twitter feed, but opinions are subjective.
Exactly.
Wow. And, you know, in your defence there, the Brighton camera angle is not really doing you any favours, and the screen is pretty minute. So one of the Brighton lads, we'll find out what lad that was. Shorty, do you got any questions from
We do indeed. It's
subscribers?
It's Jack McWilliams back again. He's nailing the questions, and he has asked who should be England's starting right back, Trent, Wan-Bissaka or Walker? Just while you guys process that question, I'm going to put it out there right immediately that it should be Trent Alexander-Arnold.
OK.
By distance, I think he offers more in attack than Wan-Bissaka at current. I think Wan-Bissaka is a fantastic defensive fullback, but Trent, you know, low blocks that England are often going to come up against and need to dominate, need to score goals in European competitions. Wan-Bissaka not quite there on an attacking front. I'd go for Trent, although I do think Walker, fantastic option. Trippier's playing very well at Atletico Madrid. It's a position of extreme depth for England at the moment.
Let's get everyone else's take on that after Dave relives the Torreira shot for us, mate, because he wasn't far away there.
It was a fantastic bit of play from Arsenal there. The key is here we're getting the ball in front of Wolves, which is really good. We're not like trying to go down the sides. There's a chance here. Callum Chambers whips the ball in. And he's not beat the first man. Unlucky Callum. Maybe he should be the right back for England. We don't know yet. But yeah, look at Luke Torreira.
Dream team, baby! Hey!
What a finish!
I've done it again.
And David Jackson's half volleyed his
I was
microphone
90%
back
sure
there,
that ball was coming in my face.
Chance goal for Villa!
Oh my goodness gracious!
Trezeguet.
He's all popping up on the social.
One goal after another. Jermaine, did you have eyes on the game?
Yeah, I did. It was a free kick out from John McGinn, put it in like he did in the first couple of minutes where they almost scored. It was literally all bent round the defence, back stick. Trezeguet came in late and just literally put it through. Alisson's legs, 1-0 to... It's a tight line. They've literally all the team is on the edge of the box.
He's off.
Is he offside? Yes! It's going to be offside. VAR. This is why I love VAR. Oh, he's not interfering with play. It's going to be a goal. That's stinky.
All right, we'll have to wait for the final decision on this.
Great free kick.
But it looks...
Newcastle. Chris, what's going on?
I told you, Chris, that Newcastle were dominating and they've scored a second goal away at the London Stadium. I don't know who it is. I think it might be Fernandes.
No goal. It's going to be no goal. It's going to be offside. He's offside. Come on, this is why VAR was invented. It's stinky, I know. It's not fair, it's not right, but it is today.
It's just this.
Yeah, it's just his serve.
That was extremely tight, but he has it in himself, Trezeguet. He has no right to do that, and as such, it is probably deserved. What happened in the Newcastle game now? We've caught up with Liverpool.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, it was a short corner. They played it all the way back to nearly the halfway line, and then it's another long ball in. Keeper's come, he's in no man land, and it's Fernandes who scored. They're 2 centre-backs on the score sheet, and West Ham 0, Newcastle 2.
Thank you very much, William. That actually makes perfect sense. Prior to this, Newcastle only had 5 goals all season, rooted to the bottom of the league with Watford on that metric. VAR is still debating.
VAR still checking.
It's still debating.
Trezeguet looks worried. The camera shows his face. He's looking worried.
They cannot face the line.
What a football social we're experiencing right now.
Listen, I tell you what.
I mean, I don't know if anyone caught that on camera a minute ago, but Dave Jackson had a stick microphone. That was a first on the football. That was a first on the football social. I thought you were going to serenade me, mate.
I was about
to
get the songs out.
I mean, that probably came as a result.
Oh no, chance for Wolves. Keep it tight to half-time.
That came as a result of you, Robin van Persing, your own mic, mate. So next time, make sure it's secure. Make sure the bag is secure.
So we've got
make sure the bag's
Man
secure,
City and Liverpool, the top 2 teams losing. It's definitely an interesting weekend. But it's still early, still early days.
Still early.
A lot of goals to come.
Tell you what, this just feeds into the narrative that Leicester will win the Premier League.
Jermaine Pennant there, bringing us all back down to earth. It's very exciting at the moment, but let's regroup, lads. Let's have a question from socials. Doogie, please. Actually, we didn't answer your last question, did we?
Yeah, it was
You said Trent.
I said Trent, best English right back. Well, who's
Oh my God! Oh my God! Newcastle could be 3. St. Maximin for 3.
That's a beautiful save.
Oh, sorry, Doogie. I will let you speak at some point today, but that was a fantastic chance for Newcastle. All I saw was St. Maximin on his own. He's got 91 pace on FIFA, so you know he's fast. Comes through against the keeper. It's a poor shot, but a good save.
Yeah, and he was quite clinical in his last season at Nice. I think that's probably his record in terms of output. So coming into the back of this season on good form. Let's very quickly answer that question then. Let's not spend any more time talking about England's right back. Dave, one word answer, please.
Trent.
Yeah, I'm going to go Trent.
Trent.
Fair.
Yeah, I think you'd be mad to opt otherwise, to be perfectly honest. Let's get another question then. Fresh question that we can answer. straight away.
Elastico, welcome aboard, Elastico. They have asked which English team has had the biggest decline over the past 5 years. I think I know what everyone's going to say for this.
Yeah.
Jacko, who are you saying? Biggest decline?
Hold on, buddy. Is it offside? It's offside.
It's offside.
Biggest decline.
Biggest decline in the last 5 years. We're going from 2014 to now.
I think you probably have to say Arsenal, to be honest. Like we've got in them years, we've got nowhere near the title. At least United, what, finished second 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some really bad times towards the end of Wenger's reign, and it's not got much better since. So, chance for Wolves. Good defending.
Fouled him there, didn't he?
Callum Chambers, mate, best right back for England there.
Yeah, that little passage you played, because that's not the first time that Jota's broke down the right-hand side.
It's not. If you look at it in the end, the Arsenal probably actually defended it quite well, because the players were running out. The Wolves team was running out, so you couldn't really create like a challenge. Obviously, a bit of penalty. He's in again. Chambers.
One end pitch to the other here, Callum Chambers.
Oh, that's unlucky. Finish. Torreira! Oh, he's got a score.
Oh, hello. Aubameyang still got it, though. And that is put well
Sit down.
over. Yeah, can you...
Sorry,
at least your mic stayed on this time. What's happening in the Liverpool game, Jermaine?
They gave the ball away in the midfield to Trent Alexander-Arnold. He ran into the box, took a shot of deflection, went over the goalkeeper's head for a corner. So please, let's not waste this opportunity.
And he's now raced over to take the corner. There's someone who had a bit of a walnut whip on him himself.
Oh my God! It was going in. It was going in. It's a handball.
How good is his service?
His set pieces are brilliant.
Best in the
delivery. Yeah, definitely one of the best in the league for sure. It was a corner from the right-hand side. It got whipped to near post. Mane flicked it on. Everyone was beaten, but Tyrone Mings was at the back post to clear it.
Tyrone Mings is working overtime today. That's probably his second or third last-ditch clearance. Talking of last-ditch, West Ham, what's happening?
West Ham, not even got going. I've not even seen them had a shot. There was a VAR call in the Sheffield United Burnley game. There was a cross that came off the arm of O'Connell. They checked it. They said, nay, move on. And it's still 0-0 in that game. I think that's the only game without a goal, isn't it?
It's strange for West Ham, though, because I think this is one win in their last 5 now. And you look at their starting 11 and, pretty much everyone's available. Sebastian Haller started really well, looked like he'd adapted well to the Premier League, but their results in the last 5 or 6 games, bar that 1-0 win over United, 2-0 victory over United, just haven't really been good enough, and seen them drop from a pretty promising position just outside the top 4 to sort of lower mid-table.
Yeah,
so.
We had a fair few teams at the start of the season. Everton were put forward as potentials to, break into the top 6.
Wolves
break up the traditional top 6 at the very least. Yeah, Wolves, Leicester are the only ones that have really sustained that challenge, I suppose. What's happened to Everton and what's happened to West Ham in weeks gone by?
Well, I'd say, Everton, probably their squad management in the summer wasn't particularly strong. I think they only had 3 centre-backs until the last week. And then I think Marco Silva's made a rod for his own back at times as well with his team selection. He hasn't really settled on the front line consistently. Moise Keane has had a run of games, and then seemingly it's persona non grata. Richarlison doesn't start up front. He keeps on persevering with Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
The box. Oh, no, VAR, please. We'll have a VAR. No, check that. No, I'm not interested. Can we check that, please?
Please, Firmino was our next goal scorer in our prize boost. We thought we'd secured it. Mane, lovely ball.
Oh, he's on. Check, please. Please check that.
He's on.
He's got to check it.
Is that just his arm that's offside?
He's got to check. No, he's onside. It's the same as Trezeguet's.
He's on.
He's on. He's either dreaming my team as well. I'm on flames. It's got to be onside. It's onside.
Celebratory Viking clap then for the price boost because it's come in there like, whoom. Excellent.
That's got to be a goal.
That's well on, isn't it? That's
Look
well
at the
on.
gap. It's the same. He's onside.
I'm sorry, is Tyrone Mings the only person doing any defending in this game?
What?
Is that what they're saying they are?
From his shoulder?
No.
No. We did a Viking clap and everything. Come on, VAR.
It's got to be online.
I think that's a goal.
I think they're going to rule
It's
it out.
extremely tight, and it looks like it has.
Oh my God! What? That's outrageous.
Centimetres.
That is.
Don't put them celebrations in.
That might be one of the tightest
let's
of
leave
the
that.
season we've seen, to be fair.
That's outrageous.
Devastating.
Don't put them celebrations out over.
That is outrageous.
Cut feed. Right, Dave, let's move on quickly to the Arsenal game. Have Arsenal got a foothold in
We're playing
in this game?
Honestly, I'm not just a chance. Take your time, Pierre. He's offside.
Offside.
Callum Chambers is playing really well. I'm not forgetting the England stuff, but like he's playing particularly well. He's getting very, very dangerous positions. But I think I want to give a bit of a shout out to Alexandre Lacazette. We look such a better team when he is playing. He presses the ball, and he also when he's playing, he allows Aubameyang to get a little bit further forward as well. So
He's a much better linked man than Aubameyang.
and at the moment there was a lovely little passage of play earlier between Ozil and Aubameyang. So again, when Ozil was in the team, we just looked so much more positive, and I'm very excited.
Good.
I'm a bit confused. If I'm in line with someone standing shoulder to shoulder, but I do that, does that mean I'm offside? I'm not allowed to use my arms anyway.
I think it was the lean, wasn't it? The shoulder, the angle of the shoulder. I'm not quite sure.
The top bit of his chest, maybe, which you're allowed to score with, but it was.
Isn't that you're only offside with a part of your body you can score with, right? You can't score with your hands.
You can't use your hands. That's not a part of
It
it.
must have been part of his chest, but we'll need more info on that.
I don't know. That's
tight.
Just from the naked eye, the Aston Villa goal looks more offside than the Liverpool goal. So yes, VAR, some more confusing instances in the games we watch, and we'll try and get a little bit of clarity, get an explanation moving forward into the second half. But the debate rages on. Let us know what you thought of that goal in the comments below, and of course subscribe to the channel if you're not a member of Team FD or Soccer AM, of course. Have we heard from our subscribers in the comments of the outrage that the Firmino goal didn't stand, because of course the Liverpool community very vocal on
I mean, they're pretty angry, but they're kind of with Jermaine, they're slightly confused. But Costa Tamburini, has asked which top six side has the best attack. Jermaine, we've already heard from you that you think it's Liverpool. But would you not say City with Sterling, Aguero and Son and a fully fit Sane have a very good case?
Yeah, definitely challenging. But Liverpool are European champions, so I'm going with
End of debate.
There you go. Once the European champions, then.
Fair. What about you, Jacko? Are you?
No, close call, City for sure.
Best front three.
Yeah.
I think when they click, you can't really go further wrong than Liverpool's, right? You know what I mean? Sane probably won't be fully fit for the rest of the season, will he? Like fully
At least until
fit,
February, January.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I've said Liverpool. How about you? Who do you think, Duke?
I think it's really tight, to be fair. It depends what you're looking for. Firmino and Aguero aren't very comparable in type of style.
Yeah.
I think Aguero is probably the second best out-and-out 9 in the world after Lewandowski, probably. Out-and-out 9, that is. But I think there's a very good case for either of them. I think in Klopp's system, this Liverpool front three are perfect.
And that's key, isn't it? In
Pep's system, I think Sterling's probably maybe a better ball player than Mo Salah in tight areas. I think Sane is probably a better ball player in tight areas than Mane as well. So it just depends who you're looking for. I think they're perfect for their manager.
I mean, with Pep Guardiola side as well, you struggle to say front three because everyone is so active in the attacking phase. Like, would you count? Oh, hello. Van Dijk clearing up there, looked like Aston Villa are about to break, but you couldn't classify, Bernardo Silva, David Silva, are they not, forward-thinking players? Yes.
Go on, slip and slide him. Oh, too heavy.
Heavy ball there from Mane. Was it on there, Jermaine?
Yeah, it was on a little through. It could have gone either way. It could have gone to Trent Alexander or to Salah, where he did play it, but all it was just the weight of pass. Better weight, he's through on goal. Looks a little weight. He would have shot first time as well.
In that position, you want Firmino threading that
that's
iron needle
pass, don't you? That's where you want
Mane collecting it from that left-hand side.
Raging pace he's got.
After that absolutely emphatic 5 minutes, we've not heard from you since, Willie. Are you just calling your jets, or the game's got a bit...
Recharging.
Let's not forget, it's Man City 0, Southampton 1. Manchester City have had 11 shots, but none of them have been on target, and they've had
wow.
75% possession. That's why I'm wearing an earpiece. But yeah, it's still Southampton winning 1-0. Absolutely stinks of a valiant 1-0.
Go marching in.
They could do it.
Come on, do us a favour.
When they're defending, it was like 10 people in the box, but they're actually quite far advanced at the moment, and it could cost them because Man City are on the break. But yeah, still 1-0 to Southampton.
I mean,
shock of the season.
Well,
Creating so many chances.
if Liverpool go 9 points ahead at this point,
that's done it.
It was very similar to last season, but how are Liverpool better equipped this season to stave off that challenge after Christmas?
Well, they've been through it. It's like the same way they did at the Champions League final. They played a lot better than Madrid, but lost the game. So they, had a second bite. Now they've been through it, they've experienced it, and they will do, one step better. And, I think it's getting results against the lower end teams, which sometimes they drew. Cost them the league.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to have to get 97 points this season. I think 93, 94 will probably clinch it this season. But the form of those top two teams has been absolutely relentless still, and this would be a seminal moment in the season if Southampton can get 3 points here. But there's plenty of time left, gentlemen. We're 34 minutes in. Have we got any more questions?
We do indeed. One of the big talking points of this week and this season has obviously been Ozil's exclusion from Unai's starting 11.
Yeah.
And Soraya Harrinsgrove wants to know, how is Ozil playing in this game, Dave, and what can he bring to Arsenal for the rest of the year?
He's playing particularly well. He brings a level of creativity.
So Maximin's in again.
He's got to score this one.
Oh no! Oh, he's got a second chance.
Oh my
Spread
God!
it to no one. Yes, he has.
Oh my goodness!
Referee's clotheslined him as well. I've seen that.
Oh, what a sequence of events! Will, please articulate. That was incredible.
I've looked down again. St Maximin's through again. He's broken past all the defenders. He tried to chip the goalie this time. Got the ball, recycled it, played it across to, I think it was Almiron. His shot was saved. Jetro Williams is still on the attack. Trying to get the ball recycled. Shelby on the edge of the area. Outside of the boot! Off the bar! What an effort! It was like Oxlade-Chamberlain against Porto, and it's cannoned off the bar. It's all Newcastle.
Prior to this, it seems that Newcastle have saved all their attacking endeavours for one game. Prior to this, Newcastle averaging 2.5 shots per 90 on target. Not the case here. They're absolutely battering West Ham. Yeah. And we're talking about Manchester City being behind to Southampton, forgetting that Villa are in front here. That's just a healthy reminder to the studio that Liverpool are also chasing Villa down. So it'll be a missed opportunity for one of these teams, it seems, at the very least, William.
Yeah, I'm just thinking with that. You look at that West Ham back four, and it stinks of like the slowest players. Zabaleta right back, Balbuena, Diop, and then Cresswell. I mean, he's slightly lifty, but St Maximum having an absolute field day in behind the West Ham back
and they're
four.
just showing the replay of Shelby's effort. It's like outside of the boot, curling, just hits the top of the bar, comes back. And West Ham incredibly lucky not to be 3 down here. Roberto with a fantastic double save as well beforehand. Newcastle, I haven't seen them play this well all season.
And is this maybe coinciding with a fit Maximan? We said at the start of the season he might have to do a lot of that ball progression.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like, well, he came from Nice, obviously had a fantastic record there in terms of his dribbles and his creativity, but not necessarily the most consistent output until last year. But everyone's seen the clips on him in training on Twitter, weaving through 5 or 6 different players. The guy can beat a man in a post box, and he's just playing phenomenally well so far in this game, and it's been a really enjoyable display for him.
First post box analogy on Football Social, absolute scenes. And Mane there.
Is
that a yellow card?
Yeah.
Jermaine, is that a bit of a dive? What are we seeing here?
Yeah, it's a booking. Mane was in the box, the ball was going out, trying to shield it. Tyrone Mings came in the back of him, stood his ground, and Mane just kind of flopped over.
Does this go against what we were saying before about Liverpool actually having a little bit more steel? They're not panicking when they're chasing games. That was a little bit unnecessary, wasn't it? That was freaks of desperation.
Let me see this replay again. I'm going to defend my player.
I mean, he's gone full Tom Daly.
He's gone full Tom Daly. He didn't need to dive, but there was a little bit of a touch. Look, see, they're going to... VAR's having a look. Please.
Decision, no penalty, top left. And that was done within seconds there.
Yeah. OK, fair enough. All right. I owe man's I lost.
Brighton are in it. Chance for 1-1. Dragged it wide.
Who was that with the Brighton chance?
That was Neil Maupay down the left-hand side, left-footed, but he's just dragged it.
And he's adjusted very well for the Championship, and of course, every time you get the opportunity to talk about the Championship, you do so.
This is more
Sorry,
like
it's 0-0 in the Brighton game. Sorry, who was that? Sorry,
did you anticipate Neil Maupay having this good a start to the season, this good an impact at Brighton?
Trent Alexander-Arnold, what a ball!
I thought Shea Adams would have a better start than Neil Maupay, but it hasn't translated like that. And he came off the bench, took his chances, and now he's getting starts. So.
Yeah, of course, Shea Adams yet to get his goal at Southampton, but we won't hold that against him because not many people have scored for Southampton this season.
You make a good point about Maupay, though, and it's quite exciting seeing numerous Championship players come up and instantly perform. We've seen Buendia play very well for Norwich this year. Obviously, James Maddison came into the Premier League last year from a year at Norwich the year before. And it just shows that there's a lot more talent in the Championship than people often give it credit for.
Thank you, dude.
It's known as a tough league where it's just relentless schedule. Yes, it is too, but there's proper ball players in there and they can do it in the Premier League.
Preach. Give me 5.
And even more in League One, where we are 1-0 up against Southend.
Not get ahead of ourselves.
But it's the sort of when you've got managers who employ the philosophy that Farke, has in the Championship.
Lord
Come on,
Farke.
mate. He's been breath of fresh air in East Anglia.
I'll tell you what, Liverpool are putting a lot of pressure now on Aston Villa. I think they are tiring. It's just a wasteful ball from Jordan. Is it Lana?
He's looking a little bit rushed in the final third.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get this goal back before half-time. But like I said, I think they've learnt the lesson. They're going to keep composed. And, going in still 1-0, still not a bad result for them. Because they've got a lot of quality to get a lot of goals back in the second half, like they showed against Tottenham.
Yeah, Jermaine, while we're on the topic of Liverpool, Thomas Roberts has asked, was it worth resting Fabinho if Liverpool lose today? Obviously, he played so well against Spurs on Sunday. I think that was potentially a risk.
Yeah, because they've got players who can do just as good as the job, and the fault wasn't from he could have done nothing about it. Jordan Henderson's doing that job great. He's just sitting in there like Fabinho would. So I don't think resting would have made a big difference in this game and this result because we're not losing in midfield. We're actually dominating in midfield. It's just the keep breaking on the counter attack and the set pieces where we conceded the goal.
I mean, talking of breaking on the counter-attack, every time I look at the Arsenal-Wolves game, Dave, Wolves have you penned in your own half. What's going on?
That's not true. They are playing OK. We're playing very well. Once we do get the ball and we manage to turn out and we've got the space of the field to run out, we look like we can actually go and create a chance, which has not been the case for a long while. Lacazette's playing particularly well. When the ball comes up to him, the ball sticks.
Oh, that's a penalty. He's holding him. Book him, do so. Oh, come on, ref, he's holding him, he's pulling him back. Salah with a little cheeky flick from Salah in the box. And he's looks like he's holding him back. He couldn't turn.
Liverpool's second
his hands are all over him.
appeal for a penalty.
His hands are all VAR now.
Oh, that's a little bit soft.
Engels, you got away with murder there.
OK, so maybe we have one incoming, one pending at Villa Park, a penalty in the offing. What's happening in the other games before we go over to dig you for another question?
Sebastian Haller's just attempted a back heel, such as the desperation at West Ham. Fantasy football captains Raheem Sterling has just been shown a yellow card, and John Stones had a chance where Angus Gunn came out, but it just went headed over the bar.
OK, thank you for that. Deuce.
Alex Dean has asked, who will finish in the top 4 this season? I mean, obviously we know Liverpool and Man City will, but who do we reckon are joining them, lads?
Oh, let's answer this question then after Jermaine sums up what's just happened.
Is this? I don't know. Who's this? The referee? Is he an Everton fan or City fan? Which part of free kick's that?
Is that Lundstrom with his second?
John Lundstrom can't stop scoring for Sheffield United. Sheffield United 2. Burnley 0. Sorry, I forgot who they were playing because there's so many goals, so much action. Chrissy Wilder's Barmy Army overtaking Manchester United. I think they're moving up to 6th place. Dare to dream where they'll be going on a European tour next season. Fantastic flights. Get yourself to Liverpool Airport or Manchester Airport. I don't think there's an airport in Yorkshire, but it's 2-0 and Lundstrom's on the score sheet again.
Drinks, he's on fire!
Ball down the left-hand side.
Come on!
They're just checking for offside, but I don't think anything's wrong with that. It's Ender Stevens working it, low cross. I think it was Musetta missed it out and Lundstrom just tucked it in at the back post.
Excellent build-up play there from Sheffield. And Dave,
Massive save.
There was a good,
massive save.
Good old save in your game from Burnley.
Well-worked chance from Wolves there. They was down their left, our right. Worked the ball to Doherty, who had a shot from just inside the area. It was a very, very good save from Bert Leno.
But you flat out disputed the fact that Wolves are the more progressive side in this tie, and this has been 3 attacks.
Yeah.
In the last
I reckon the tide has maybe changed a little bit. Just before half-time, Arsenal cannot afford to concede. He's done well there.
Counter-attacking, Mane one-on-one. It's just putting him a bit wide. Robinson's on the overlap.
End-to-end in both games then.
Goal!
OK, then we'll go to Jermaine.
The team is on!
There you've put Ryanair, EasyJet, any flights you can get. You're going on a European tour. John Fleck has scored for Sheffield United. It's Mousset with the assist, and it's a lovely, low-driven shot. Left foot, away from the keeper, into the side netting. Sheffield United 3, Burnley 0.
Is it 3?
Yeah, as many as 3.
Jermaine, what happened at Villa Park then? Mane feeding Salah.
Like we spoke earlier on, the top 3, Firmino, Mane and Salah.
Close him down!
Salah was on a Firmino broke out, played it to Salah. Salah
What
was
are they
running
doing?
down the left wing, cut inside, played it into the penalty box. On the penalty spot, Salah came running across, right-footed side foot over the bar.
Should he have done better?
With his talent, 100%. And he looked frustrated. He looked up to the Evans, asking how did he miss that. So, chance will come in. We're going to keep going, and hopefully we're going to get one via VAR.
Nice. And Tarkowski looks utterly deflated there. Was that a great finish by John Fleck, or was an element of bad defending from Burnley?
Yeah, bad defending. They were passing it around just in their own half, and then as soon as they lost the ball, they were like vipers straight in there. John Fleck scoring.
Tell you what.
The Sheffield Vipers.
The Sheffield Vipers.
A franchise.
But 3-0 to Sheffield United. We speak about Eddie Howe and all these great English managers.
Chris Wilder.
Chris Wilder. Started from the bottom, now he's here.
Yeah, I think prior to this season starting, only Pep had won more games in the last 2 years than Chris Wilder.
But, I mean...
In League One and...
Coming from League One.
You've got to beat them, though, Chris. You've got to beat them.
That is a very generous stat there. Have we got any questions that are going to, open up any other debates as to, as gripping as Wilder versus Pep Guardiola?
I know whose side I'm on. Anyway, Hidden Covers has asked, do you think this year's Leicester side is better than their Premier League winning side?
Arguably, yes.
Go on then, Dave. Jump in.
Hold on. Yeah, if you look at it player for player, then definitely. The fact that they won the league with Wes Morgan and Robert Huth at the back is actually ridiculous, but that was completely fair play to them. They had a very good player in Kante. There's only probably Kante that would get in that team, in the current Leicester team, which is the way to put it.
Mahrez, maybe? Mahrez over Perez?
Right, 2. So 2 out of the 11.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I'd maybe put the 2019-20 version of Jamie Vardy in over that version as well. Vardy was insane in that title-winning campaign, but he's gone off like an absolute rocket this campaign. 9 goals already. I think he's got something like 16 goals in 17 games under Brendan Rodgers. Absolutely remarkable. Just keeps on going. Just no lack of pace. Just enjoying his Indian summer.
A great question. We'll revisit that in a second. What happened at... Is it St James's Park, the Bravka?
Yeah, it was a corner coming in. It was Balbuena with a header, and it looked like it was destined for the top corner. But the Bravkas clawed it out, and it's gone for another corner, which West Ham nearly scored from. It's all West Ham, but they are 2-0 down.
Just to confirm, that is the London Stadium. It's not at St James. I'd be very impressed if he was making that save at St James's Park. But back on to the Leicester question.
Yeah!
Do you think this Leicester side is good enough to break into... Let's say the top 4, never mind the top 6, because of the start they've made.
Yeah, Brendan Rodgers has got them compact. They look settled underneath him, and they've got some young, good players. Like I said, with Maddison, Ben Chilwell, and obviously we all know about Vardy can score goals, and the defence is looking solid as well. So the way Spurs are playing at the minute, Man U, there's no reason why Leicester cannot, be pushing for a top 4, for sure.
Come on, you Foxes.
Half-time.
It's half-time at the Emirates. David, summarise that performance, please.
The last 5 was definitely all Wolves. The last 5 was definitely... But I think Arsenal played well. They actually created chances, which they have not done for an awful long time.
And was that because of the inclusion of Ozil, because of the inclusion of Lacazette?
I think it was a little bit of us playing our best players in the right positions. For example, Lucas Torreira was playing as a defensive midfielder. It was not playing at number 10. So Ozil played OK. Callum Chambers probably our best player.
So a 1-goal lead and a starting 11 that you wanted. So things are all rosy at half-time for Gooners fans in this studio at the very least. And it's just about wrapping up at Villa
in the
Park.
Brighton game?
Summary of the first 45 from a Liverpool perspective.
It's been Liverpool all on the ball with a better chance as well. Like I said, Villa now got little ball dinked in the box, and it was a little fire, good clearance from Villa. It's been all Liverpool really, and you can see a sense a goal is going to come. They are defending well, Villa, and what they're trying to do is trying to catch Liverpool on the counter attack, and it is actually working off for them at times, and they do look dangerous on the counter attack. But I can't see him containing and sustaining this, pressure and pressuring the ball. They are going to start tying out.
So Liverpool are knocking on the door. The cameraman working overtime to keep Will in frame every time he stands up. Was that because of a potential red card, Razia?
Yeah, they checked a potential red card. It was nothing. It was just a clearance and a high boot. But Brighton have nearly scored. Ball down the right-hand side. It was a shot pushed back into the danger zone by Krul, and then it's a terrible effort by, I think, Neil Maupay, who was singing the praises of earlier, but a stinking finish there. She's got to do better 6 yards out on the turn, on the swivel.
Not sure about those blonde highlights either, Neil, to be perfectly frank. We got any questions to keep us ticking over?
We do indeed.
Until half-time?
Iam says, that guy who's wearing an Arsenal shirt looks so scared. And I've commented saying, yes, he is. Luca...
Just to let you know, I've also stuck the boot in. Yeah.
Luca Shaudu has asked, how far do we think all the English clubs will get in Europe? So the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea.
I mean, who do we think is going to go the furthest then? Just to flip that question on its head.
I'd probably say Liverpool at the moment, to be honest. But then they've had some difficulties in the Champions League already. They've obviously lost to Napoli. They struggled at home against RB Salzburg. They were quite lucky to win that. But then really good performance in Belgium. But I've also been really impressed with Chelsea, to be honest. I thought their performance against Ajax was really impressive. I didn't think that was going to go their way in the slightest. Pulisic coming on, making a massive impact. Batshuayi as well. And for a young side, I think Chelsea could spring a surprise and maybe make a quarter-final. I'm not saying they're going to go further than Liverpool.
Yes,
but
that youthful exuberance carrying them. One team who may benefit from all these teams competing deep in the Champions League is Leicester. And we can actually hear from Yuri Tielemans right now as, we have a nice little video on him.
That was a lovely transition, Chris.
Well, you're welcome, Dave.
To get to know you a little bit better, 4 albums on this iPad. Tell us what you see, what memories it brings back. So this kid, what is he thinking?
Grab a ball, grab anything you can and play football.
I love the hair here.
Okay, yes, I don't love it. I don't like it.
It's not coming back?
No, it's not. Not at all. I used to have like really big hair. Oh.
So this is the hair you were talking about?
Yeah, it is. As you can see, my clothes are a bit like really baggy.
Good at basketball?
Yeah, I was very good. Honestly, I thought I would make it in basketball before. We had a very good team. Very, very good team. You can see the trophy. All right, next one. This is, judo. So I was good at judo as well. I think in a year or two after I stopped, I would have been a black belt already. But there comes a moment when you have to make choices. This one, I think it's important to mention that I've graduated. For 2 years, I mixed up professional football with the normal school. It was a tough time, but yeah, I'm glad to have achieved my graduate. So,
how perfect a club was Anderlecht for you? Because it wasn't just that you broke in at 16. You played and you played and you played.
Yeah, they helped me to develop myself, to be a man, basically. Anderlecht was the most important club for me, and it still is. They made me.
I presume that is Monaco down there.
Yeah, it is. I think you can see.
Oh yeah,
the stadium.
Yeah,
this is the stadium.
It's a beautiful picture.
Yeah, it is. And I lived here somewhere.
An apartment.
Yeah, apartments.
Were you happy there? Because I suppose the narrative over here is that it didn't really work out for.
No, I was very happy there. Thing is, when I signed there, they were champion of France. They just reached a semi-final of the Champions League. But I didn't plan that they would have sold half of the team after that campaign. But I'm very happy of my time there, honestly.
You worked with him at Belgium and at Monaco, which was obviously a difficult time for him.
Yeah, very difficult. It was very strange because he did great work with the team. We had 16 players injured, but 16 important players. When the January transfer period came, players really wanted to come for him. Once the period was done, he got sacked.
So we never really saw Thierry Henry's team, really?
No. I really respect him as a manager, as an old player, but as a person as well, because he's been very important for me as well.
We need to talk about Leicester. I mean, this is a picture of the 9-0.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Go on.
Yeah, it was amazing. I think there are no words to describe that feeling. The largest away win in history of Premier League. I think we have a very good team, but we have to carry on.
Has it surprised you, like how good the team is?
Yeah, honestly, yes. I knew there were very good players because I knew Will from Belgium. You have the big names like Schmeichel in the goal, Vardy up front. I know from my game that you just enjoy to play with a guy like him.
Can you just talk us through your summer? What did you have to consider and why did you pick Leicester?
Well, I'm not going to name clubs or, as you understand.
But without naming anyone, what are you thinking, right, what are the things that are important to you?
Well, first of all, I want to play. Second, I want to be in an environment that I enjoy. And I came to a certain moment where I said, yeah, well, I have this, this and this, but I want Leicester. So for me, it was not an easy choice, but I thought about it a long time, and it was the best choice.
Professionally, personally, perfect, isn't it?
Life is perfect. I really enjoy my life. I don't want anything else. I just want to keep going like this and to keep having this life forever.
What a signing he has been for Leicester City. Hopefully he can recreate some of that form that he demonstrated when he first got there. Had an excellent last couple of weeks. Now, let's revisit the group bet, because I'm not quite sure how we're doing here, gentlemen. A home win, so Dave's called it. Jermaine, you're letting down the side so far, but we'll let you off, as am I. Doogie's called the Sheffield United result emphatically. Wild as men going absolutely wild themselves. And Will, you've gone for the draw, but by the looks of it, West Ham have been the worst team in this game week. And he's just taken a bite of something.
They have been,
He's back in the game.
I mean, it's been all Newcastle. I think every time I looked up, there was someone behind that West Ham defence breaking every time. So it's going to need... needs Andy Carroll, but he's gone to Newcastle, so just think about it, Pellegrini.
Yeah, Manchester City, of course, losing as well. We didn't touch upon that result because it wasn't part of the bet. And that bet, if you still want to take part, was 29-1. Odds are accurate at the time of recording. Go and check out the website, 4Ts and Cs. You must be 18 plus to play along. Critchley, what's been the fans' reception to this frantic match week?
They're absolutely loving it. The questions have been firing in, and make sure they continue to do so in the comment sections of both streams, and I'll ask the best ones to our panel. Hidden Covers has got our next one, and he or she has asked,
name that.
who do you think is the most promising, or who do you think are the most promising young players in the league? Jermaine, has there been any young players that have really caught your eye this season?
I would say Maddison. Obviously, you know, he's known, but he's still young. He plays for England 21s and still got a lot to progress. So I think he's, you know, being standout. Ben Chilwell as well, playing well at left back. So it's the Leicester lads. They're standing out for me at the moment.
Fair. And what about you, Jackson? You've had quite a few youth, you know, given various opportunities in cup competitions. Who's caught your eye for Arsenal?
For Arsenal, I've been very obviously Guendouzi, but like, that was his breakthrough probably last season. I love the look of Saka up top. He looks absolutely fantastic. Also Joe Willock, I think he looks like he's going to be an absolute baller. So some promising times, promising player. Rob Holding will be getting the armband
England captain, yeah.
I never said England, but yeah.
Have you got one of them bets on, like Chris Kirkland's granddad had one, like when you saw Rob Holding at the age of 6 and you're like, you got good odds and you get your pension paid out?
I probably like should have, but I didn't will.
Missed opportunity.
How about you? What do you think, young youth players?
Yeah, I think Jermaine's called it with the Leicester squad. I mean, we just saw Youri Tielemans. He's still a very young man if he can continue to progress.
How old is he?
I think 20, 21, 22.
Is this? Look,
Yeah, I don't think he's much older than that. He was pretty prodigious when they bought him in, when Monaco bought him from Anderlecht, wasn't it? And he's 22. I've just had that confirmed. So if he can continue to progress, I think top sides will come, sniffing around for him. Manchester United. I mean, Dan James has had more of an impact than we anticipated. He's a young guy. It'd be nice to see Mason Green will get a few more minutes, but I'll let that question sit with me, and I'll come back in a bit. Have we had any more? That was an excellent first question.
William has asked, not this one. Who do you think will win the Golden Boot? He says, ATM, he personally thinks Vardy or Sterling, so he's really hedging his bets there. Jermaine, who's your bet on at the moment?
I won't say Sterling. I'm going with an out-and-out striker. I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm going to go for the past 2 or 3 years between Aguero and Aubameyang.
OK.
I don't think Kane's going to be up there this season because Spurs are struggling and he's not in great form at the moment. So,
Any Liverpool lads in there? Maybe Salah and Mane again?
I would say Salah out of Mane and Salah. I think Salah will come, but I think it's going to be between Aguero and Aubameyang.
I like it. Dave, any change to that?
Yeah, Pierre, mate. Pierre.
Yeah, got to back your man.
Yeah, straight
We're on a bit of a drought at the moment.
He scored today. What are you on about?
What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Very good point. Drought before this game.
Yeah, had he not scored in this game, it would have been 4 games. That would have been one of his biggest droughts since a 5-game streak at Dortmund, I believe. So, yeah, it didn't come to fruition.
But he scores. We would be in big trouble without him. We would be top 10. Without Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
You'd be lucky to make the Europa League without Aubameyang. I actually think, coming back to that question about youth, at the top, I mean, apart from Phil Foden, who, of course, we'd like to see more of in the Premier League, I'm sure the guys would at home as well. The outstanding youth probably been on the continent this season. Jadon Sancho, Kai Havertz. Doogie, you're captain of Euro Football Daily.
I am, yeah.
You've got anything to say about, any far-reaching leagues?
I mean, Eric Ten Haaland definitely deserves a shout at RB Salzburg. He's absolutely ripped it up so far. I think he's already on over 20 goals in all competitions. I think he'd hit 14 in the league by the start of October. Absolutely remarkable player. Looks like he can go all the way. Still so young, so tall, so athletic, so very, very fast as well. And a deadly finisher. So he's definitely one to watch. But another striker that sort of caught my eye that I didn't necessarily think would hit the ground running as fast as he has done, it's got to be Tammy Abraham. I think he deserves a shout out in this conversation as well.
It's hard to think of him as a breakout star, isn't it? Because he had such good pedigree before, there's loan spells. But, yeah, I agree, definitely deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, he's still just 22. And he did obviously have that spell in the Premier League with Swansea beforehand. But really, his big successes prior to this season came with Bristol City and Aston Villa last campaign, where I think he scored 26 league goals.
If he scores today, Abraham, I'll love that shout and I'll confirm with you. But if you don't, then no. He's in my dream team.
It's all on today.
I think if Wolves score today, this is probably a little bit of a useless stat, to be honest, but it's the first time in their history they've scored 10 in 10 games in a row. So, one for the Wolves fans to look forward to. Maybe gives it a little bit more...
See, this is the... Sorry.
More oomph. Go on, mate.
This is the VAR. It's really... And... What you say is...
OK, so for the fans at home, they are checking the Firmino goal again, yes. Let's give it some context.
Well, yeah. Look, if you look where the line is, whose body's in front?
So they've drawn a line from Tyrone Mings' knee and gone up to Firmino's...
It's that angle, so...
Firmino's shoulder.
Yeah, it's not straight.
I mean, but is that... OK.
That's not offside.
I don't think it's...
Because they should do it to his chest rather than his shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
So which they are doing, is that in front of Tyrone... Like you said, it's not in a straight line, is it?
Disgrace.
Right, as that debate rages on, a couple of updates for you elsewhere. Gabriel Jesus has actually come on for Manchester City, and he's been extremely impactful from the bench, hasn't he, this season? There's been a double sub at West Ham as well, which I'm not surprised about. They have been absolutely pants, to be perfectly honest, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, they could probably do with 11 changes, to be honest, not alone 2. But it's Lanzini and a GT coming on for West Ham.
Oh, very own John Stiff, is that game?
Is it?
Hey.
Yeah. Shout out John Stiff, normally working behind the scenes on the Football Social.
Stiff man.
Is out there in the trenches today. So we're just about to kick off. David.
Yes, bro.
Jermaine, do we anticipate goals?
Yes,
Come on,
I'm expecting.
Let's get energised for the second half.
I'm expecting an early goal from Liverpool, and then floodgates open, and then everyone starts running riots.
Okay.
Come on, Liverpool, you never walk alone. Come on, eh?
Oh, lovely touch. Turn.
Torreira's in straight away.
Torreira. Bamiyang. Come on. Finish.
Oh my God.
Go on. Let go. Penalty.
No,
Come on. It's all right. Come on.
What 15 seconds that was after the break.
Ozil
Still on
banged
it.
it.
They're not even got things underway at Villa Park. And Arsenal have nearly sniffed out another goal. What happened there, Dave? Dave wants a penalty.
Oh, I would love a penalty. Arsenal just so positive. They're trying to pass forward. There's no Xhaka on. There's no sideways passing. It's trying to pass forward. It's trying to look to see who of our two wide players are actually in wide positions. They expect to receive the ball because we've got players that want to pass forward. It's so pretty to see. I'm loving it. It's so positive. And,
Was that an unnecessary dig on Xhaka?
It is what it is.
Hadn't he completed the most passes in the final third up
Why
to
you
the start
bullying
of the
Xhaka,
season?
Dave?
If he's going sideways.
Go backwards and sideways.
Yeah.
It's not going to get you anywhere in football.
Exactly. Thank you, Jimmy.
I'm not really sure what's happened at Villa Park because they're only just coming out now.
There was a big stoppage when they were checking all the VAR stuff, weren't there? So it might be a bit of a knock-on.
A slight delay there. I mean, that would be massively after the fact, though, wouldn't it? So it'd be completely useless. But they are getting back onto the pitch, and we hope to see them underway imminently. But the other games, everything swinging.
Yeah, everything's just got started. Obviously, those changes for Manchester City and West Ham. I mean, I think it was 17 shots that Manchester City had in the first half, and then none of them were on target. And that's exactly why I chose Angus Gunn as my keeper today. An inspired substitution by myself. Keeping a clean sheet at the Etihad.
An excellent decision, Will. And you know what else is excellent?
What?
Our prize picks for the second half. Come on. It's Aston. Congratulations.
You're doing a great job.
Aston Villa, both teams to score in the second half. 11-4 odds accurate. At the time of recording, subject to change. Check out the website for more details.
Doing, you idiot?
18 plus. So on and so forth. Dave's lost his head in the 46th.
Ball in the net at West Ham.
Oh, and Danny Ceballos has opted for a different hairdo because his quiff normally does look like a rhombus, Dave. Are you a big fan of it, or his new one?
Come on, Liverpool! Come on!
Yeah, I love it. I love his hair, man.
A little bit Dracula-esque, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on from that. Clearly not interested. What's going on then at Villa Park?
It's just kicked off,
Things
and
have
I'm
kicked off.
very
Lovely.
feeling optimistic and a lot of enthusiasm running through my veins.
That's why we love you on the show, Jermaine.
That's
Thank
why I
you
love
very
being
much,
here.
mate. Just make this very, very easy. Why is the West Ham goalkeeper getting a stern
So
telling off?
the ball's gone in the back of the net at where is it? The London Stadium.
Yes, not St James's. We can't.
But it could have been 3-0 to Newcastle. It was a deep ball in. Yedlin headed it, and then the keeper parried it and he pushed it in. But he was just about 2 yards offside. So not the best start for West Ham with all those changes. They're still on the back foot and taking an absolute beat.
Doogie, West Ham fans are starting to lose a little bit of patience with Pellegrini, which is such a stark contrast to the start of the season. Do you think he is the right man to kind of... They've long held aspirations to break into the top six, haven't they? Do you think he's the right man to do so?
Yeah, definitely. I think the top six it's not just a 1-2 year project getting into the top six. I think it takes about 4 or 5 years of development. And their signings over the last 2 seasons at least, like Fabianski, Diop, Fornals, who hasn't really shone so far, but Sebastian Aller as well. And gelling with some players that are already there.
They've been so much better, haven't they?
They've done so much better, and I think there's a lot to get behind. They probably need another central midfielder in there to replace Mark Noble long term, and Declan Rice has looked shaky on occasions this campaign. I'm not totally buying that he's the saviour of English midfield at the moment. But I think Pellegrini, I don't know who they could do better than Pellegrini. I mean, he's a Premier League winner. He took Malaga to the Champions League quarter-finals. They were a matter of minutes away from semi-final against Dortmund. A man of complete pedigree, and I'd probably put him in my top 5 or 6 managers in the Premier League. So
nice, pretty resounding answer. And we had a couple of incidents in our headline game, so let's go to them before we go back to Doogie for a question. So Burnley are making another good save. The end of the first half pretty much mirroring the start of the second, Dave, or vice versa.
Some pretty good defending from your boy Keane. He's an actual defender. It's just so rare to see an Arsenal player who actually wants to defend. It's fantastic to see. I love it. We've been very impressed.
And Burnley was very, very good in the second half of last season.
He was.
And does it worry you how good he has to continue to be?
I think we have That's what I'm saying. This season, we have a lot of problems that our strikers are getting us out of trouble with, which is not good because you can't really build on that. You know, if you're just scraping wins, scraping results, then you're not actually improving. You're just hoping Aubameyang can go down the other end and do something. So we have a lot of issues.
Yeah.
No keepers had to make more saves.
Very good stat. Certainly better than my one about Wolves scoring in 10 games in a row.
That's good, that, mate.
Come
Back
on,
yourself
don't
there.
put you down.
Because they've not had a good start to the season, so it's a surprise.
I really appreciate that support, guys. Yeah, I think David Luiz has probably been your best defender this season, which can be a worrying statement in itself. But I mean, having spent 150 million, do you now expect, despite the makeshift defence, do you now expect Emery to deliver now you've spent the money? Is that why there's an additional...
Oh, my word! They've travelled miles, they've come far and wide, and John Joe Shelby's been on a... Newcastle threes round the length of the pitch to celebrate in front of those Toon fans, and would you believe it? Pellegrini, Doogie said top 6 manager. Well, not today, because they are 3-0 down. Sorry, Doogie, to throw you under the bus, but it was just fresh in my mind. 3-0. Would you believe it?
No, I don't believe it. Let's get a replay of this goal and please articulate it for the people at home.
It's a free kick.
Keeper's got to do better, I reckon.
Yeah, about probably I'd say a good 30 yards out. It's low, and keeper should do better, like Jermaine.
Nice though, cultured effort, bit of swerve on that.
I think that's harsh to blame the keeper, though. I think that's just a great free kick. I know it's slightly low.
It bounces well as well, doesn't it?
It's not exactly going in with a lot of venom.
No, from that angle.
On reflection, I'll take it back. That's an error from Roberto.
Mane stormed into the box, went left of the defender, left-footed, strike straight down Tommy Eaton's throat, though. Either way, it would have been challenging. They're knocking on the door, but Villa are defending very well. And like I said, they can't continue this pressure for 90 minutes. The legs are going to start tiring and fatigue start creeping in.
Liverpool huffing and puffing, but not blowing the house down. Yeah, John Joe Shelby was frozen out of the side under Rafa Benitez, surplus the requirements, and Steve Bruce has brought him back to the fore, and he scored a free kick there. And Newcastle are winning 3-0 away. That is mental.
Yeah, he saw that.
Nothing in the underlying numbers suggested they were going to score 3 against West Ham today, and that is why we love the beautiful game, isn't it, Will? What else is happening, mate? Because you're in absolute pieces.
John Lundstrom could have just scored a hat-trick.
Everyone's tuned into the Newcastle game now. What is going on the football social?
Come on.
And I think it was Almiron who just had a shot.
To Lacazette.
David, what happened with Laka?
Good little bit of play between Ozil and Aubameyang there. They worked it well down Arsenal's left. Squared the ball to Lacazette. He's kind of had a bit of a snapshot and he's kind of hit it a bit high, wide and not very handsome.
OK. And just to go back to our earlier question, with Emery spending all that money, do you think it's right that there is this amount of pressure on him?
There is.
People questioning if he's the right man already
this is his
at this point of the season.
second season. The board have 100% backed him this summer. And all I want to see is some improvement. And that's the thing, at the end of the day, all that matters is the actual results. And when you're not playing well and you're getting results, then I don't care. But the fact that we're not getting the results and we're not playing well, then something has to change. Hopefully this is the start of a bit of a run now, but Wolves look like they're in again. Come on, Arsenal, sort this out.
They have been on top, and it is Jota again down that left-hand side.
He looks so much better with Torreira. He's such a good defensive midfield player, and it's just criminal that he's not been played in that position.
There was a player down for
breaking.
Arsenal. I didn't see who it was, David,
It was
but it didn't look
Ceballos.
good.
It was Danny Ceballos. I think he's just...
lack of communication there, costing.
Lack of communication from Lacazette.
Lacazette looking to feed him, Guendouzi stopping his run. Socrates is now up, so there we go. At least a bit of a silver lining there, Dave, despite that chance petering out. Doogie, you got some questions for us?
They keep on firing in, so keep them going in the comments below, and remember to subscribe to Football Daily and Soccer AM, of course.
Love that.
Zander has asked, can Martinelli break into the Arsenal 11? Jermaine and Jacko, I heard you guys chatting about Martinelli over a bit of pie in the canteen earlier. Yeah. Both of you were pretty impressed with him so far.
Jermaine actually had the chicken, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, the chicken.
You had the chicken, sorry. Jacko with the pie.
The gnocchi, bro.
The gnocchi. I've had a shocker. I had the pie. I was the pie man.
What was in the pie?
What was it?
Leek and ham.
Gammon and leek.
I should have got here earlier.
Anyway, Jermaine, what have you made of Martinelli so far?
From what I've seen, he came in on the cup games and scoring a lot of goals. He's getting braces left, right, and centre.
7 and 4.
Yes, there you go, 7 and 4. He's definitely good enough, but then is he better than Aubameyang? Is he better than Lacazette? Not yet. So he definitely should be on the bench. And later stage of the game, maybe throw him on because he has got a good eye for goal. He's got pace, for his age, he's a very strong and built lad as well. So he should be in the squad, yeah, but a starter.
You've been in that scenario though, knocking on the door of a very competent forward line.
It was different in my time.
Keep doing.
You just have to keep plugging away and don't get frustrated, because that's the mistake I made. In that area though, when I was playing with the Invincible team, it was, young players didn't really get a chance. It was not really heard of in the league, but nowadays it's a lot a known thing, a bigger factor. So I was just in the wrong era, unfortunately.
When you were trying to break through, how difficult was it to keep your emotions in check and not go knocking on the manager's door and kicking up a fuss?
It's very frustrating. It's very hard to deal with. If you're not mentally strong, you can easily break and go off the rails and start losing interest and just kind of give up and not train hard and lose that professionalism. There's a break for Jordan Henderson.
Come on then, Captain.
What are you doing?
Fantastic.
Oh, Jordan, this is 1-0. What are you doing?
He had three
on one. And he played it to the centre
back. Early pass to either.
Oh, my God.
What's
what are you doing? So basically,
Tyrone
Mings tried to slide in, lost the ball. Jordan Henderson took it off him, running onto the defence, running into the box. He had two defenders. So one was marking Salah, one was marking when he could have shot, but he chose to play to Mane. But instead of playing it to Mane, he's played it to the centre-back, Engels, who's then just cleared it. It was a great opportunity, but this is what I'm saying earlier on about the creativity for Liverpool, where
he's made up for it.
Oh, no, he hasn't.
It was almost a great ball into Mane, much better than his first effort at a final ball. Just to pick up on Doogie's question, because it was an excellent question, mate. We're hearing rumours of the Arsenal youth, and I stress they are rumours, kind of openly mocking Emery. Now, when you're trying to break through and there's someone like Arsene Wenger at the helm, obviously that doesn't happen. Like, how much harder is it to break through when a manager has, that authority over the club? Because Emery doesn't have that, does he? And subsequently, his starting 11s have chopped and changed.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was a lot harder for me with Arsene, because he had his team. His team was performing. If it wasn't me, it would be Ray Parlour, it would be Freddie Ljungberg, it would be Perez changing on the wing. So, you can't really knock on the door too much and go, where's my place when they're going for the whole season unbeaten, winning leagues, being in the Champions League. So, like I said, it was difficult. I had to buy my time, and when I got my opportunity, I had to take it. Like I said, if I stayed a bit more focused, a bit more professional, things might have been changed. But, now all the youngsters I've got every right to be knocking on the door under Emery.
What I was trying to articulate there, does that element of doubt represent a bit of opportunity for these youngsters? Like Saka would not have got, a look in probably under Wenger.
No.
Would he? And we're seeing some youth come to the fore now, aren't we?
Yeah, obviously, because the performance ain't being that great for us.
Because there's holes in the team.
Yeah, there's holes in the team, so he's throwing caution to the wind and putting in some young players, maybe to save his own back, say, look, I'm putting in inexperienced players, young players, don't be too harsh on me. But like I said, it's benefiting the youngsters because they're getting the chance, they're getting a feel for Premiership football.
The tackles are biased.
So it's only going to benefit. And the players that have been put in are actually doing very well. Yeah. So
it might be one of the big positives.
Yeah.
From the Emery regime, starting a few fledgling careers. Do we got any more questions? Because I'm hearing that we have one from John Stiff. I don't know if you've been fed that yet.
Yes, I didn't want to ask it because it was about Newcastle, but he said, when did Newcastle turn into the best team in the league? Never, Stiff. Get back in your box. David Blanchard has asked a good one, though. What team will Jose Mourinho go to if he goes back to the Premier League? Obviously, a colleague of us here at Sky and my new best friend, but increasingly talks about as the future Arsenal manager potentially, maybe at Spurs as well. Chris, do you think that would potentially suit him, or maybe a further afield?
I'll tell you what I think in a minute, but I want to know David's answer, because unlike George, Football Daily's very own George Wright, who does not want to see Jose Mourinho near the club, you sounded a little bit sympathetic when the rumours first came out.
I don't want him. He would do a very good job at Arsenal. I think he would turn us into a much stricter, disciplined team, and I think we would acquire an awful lot more points than what we were doing now if we had Jose Mourinho as a manager.
But then would the likes of Saka suffer as a result, because he doesn't tend to kind of blood youth?
I think what Jose could do with a striker like Lacazette, who could hold the ball up for him, he would be absolutely fantastic. And he's a massive fan of Pepe as well. As I said, if you take the history out of it, it would be a very good appointment.
OK, so should Emery's reign come to an end in January, would you rather Ljungberg take over the club on a temporary basis for 6 months, or Jose come in for 6 months?
I think Jose would get us closer to winning trophies than what Freddie would do. at the current.
Very diplomatic, Dave.
Yeah.
Very diplomatic. What about you, Jermaine?
Yeah, I wouldn't put Lundberg in as manager. That's such a crucial time in Arsenal's season. You want someone with experience at massive clubs, which Jose has, some trophies. He'll know how to handle the players there. He'll get the respect straight away. And like I said, he's the special one for a reason. So I think, if I was an Arsenal fan, which I kind of am, being there for 7 years, so I think I'd rather see Jose for the fans.
Okay, fair enough. Personally, I think Emery will get until the end of the year, short of a player revolt, and the whole Xhaka thing could have tipped over the edge, but it has been handled as well as can be. Perhaps leaving him out of the Matchday squad today. If you win and he's not in the team, it will be quickly forgotten about, such is the fickle nature of football. What about you, gentlemen? I mean, you're engrossed in the game, Will. Very professional. Well done, my friend. What about you, Jose Mourinho?
I don't think Jose Mourinho is probably the manager that he was 4 or 5 years ago. I think his standing has dropped off by that sort of end of his time at Man United, where he was falling out with the likes of Martial, Pogba, Rashford's come out and said that he wasn't necessarily the best manager for that time at United. But do I think he's still got a career in management?
Sorry, Doogie, mate.
That was absolutely justified.
We'll have to interject. But now Villa on the break. Oh, my God. Leave that.
Oh, that's why you got Alisson, which is like a sweeper.
That is excellent.
So Trent Alexander, a little cheeky dink to the back post. It was a tight angle. Mane, little header, but Tom Heaton done ever so well. He came rushing out to close the space. Seeing it again. It's a great save.
Outrageous ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold.
It's a tight angle. Tried to head it back. What was a good save? Tom Heaton came out, spread eagle. Like a starfish.
Tom Heaton is a very, very good goalkeeper.
I'm blocked his header.
I watched The Joker with Tom Heaton.
That is
it's a true story.
Yeah, would you like to elaborate on that? Give us some context as to why. Was he just in the same cinema? Because with sounds quite...
Did you share popcorn?
I watched The Joker with... Still not registered a shot on target. They didn't register any shots on target in the first half. They've done that 8 times under Pep Guardiola. 4 of them have happened against Southampton.
Oh,
Illuminati.
If it stays like that at Southampton, if this result don't change, it will be bittersweet.
Really well.
Yes.
I mean, who would have bet against both these teams not prevailing against this opposition this weekend? That would have been insane. El Ghazi
is absolutely treading water.
El Ghazi's just gassed about 6 players.
It's got to be better with that.
Good recovering header there from Trent Alexander-Arnold.
No. Oh. I'll tell you what, John McGinn's a good player for Villa. He's worked his socks off.
I was going to throw this out there. Aston Villa's midfield, Jack Grealish, Nakamba, John McGinn. How many of those players would get into teams in the top 8?
That Douglas Luiz as well. City didn't even
get
rid of him.
I think they would.
Yeah. Who's your standout player in that midfield there?
It's between McGinn and Grealish.
Because McGinn has been linked with Manchester United.
Yeah, I'll give it McGinn because of what it gives you. Is what it gives you, that work rate, that horse, that dog till I die, fight, everything. Yeah. That good old Scottish mentality. So obviously Jack's a little bit soft around the defending areas, but McGinn, he really gets stuck in, and like I said, his quality on the ball, set pieces,
extremely cultured as well.
Yeah. So I think overall as a round player, McGinn probably just pips it.
Yeah, I think they do complement each other. You're right in that McGinn's defensive contribution much higher than Jack Grealish, but Jack Grealish's dribbling has been insane this season. Really good chance creation as well. Doogie, where would you put those 2 players? Should the worst happen and Aston Villa go down?
Well, it's a very good question. I think Grealish has the potential to play or make a difference for someone like Everton. I feel like he's maybe he's a step up on someone like Andre Gomez, and obviously Spurs, with their issues with Christian Eriksen, I think could do a lot worse than a young, hungry player like Grealish, who comes in and He's adapted so well to the Premier League.
Yeah,
Initially,
as well,
yeah, his record when he was previously in the Premier League wasn't that good in terms of wins, goals, or assists. I think he only had 1 win.
I think Villa's best, to be fair.
Yeah, massive, yeah, exactly. Villa were not very good in that season as well. But I think he's been really impressive. McGinn, I'm less sure about just now. I want to bide my time on that. But Grealish, maybe someone like Everton, maybe lower end top 6 like Spurs.
Right, let's get Will's take on it as a Blues fan. I want you to wax lyrical about Jack Grealish. Go.
I do actually really like, since the incident at St Andrews, I actually really like Jack Grealish, and I think he's up for Player of the Month, isn't he, this month? And I do like to see, I mean, maybe not the Villa, but like a one-player, one-man team, and
someone dragged their team through it.
Yeah, and he was like the catalyst for that performance. I mean, I think they won 10-11 on the bounce in the Championship, and he will be playing.
Hasn't even got in it yet, so he's got to bide his time.
I do, yeah. I think he'll try and drag Villa to the heights with him, and maybe try.
I don't think he's a top 6 player.
Who, Grealish or McGinn?
Well, both.
Both, OK.
If I'm being perfectly honest.
Why is that?
I don't think they have the consistency and to do it at that top level when they need to break down the defence. I think they look. But go on. It's off the line.
What happened there, Dave, in the Arsenal game then? Give us that breakdown.
Lovely corner whipped in from Mesut Ozil again. It was a good one-header from Socrates, and it's just been cleared off the line. Arsenal under the cosh a little bit here. We need to try and...
Yeah, I didn't want to risk annoying you again, but... I mean, when I said Wolves were producing a fair amount of chances before, you looked a little bit irked, but is that a fairer statement?
Yeah, that's a much fairer statement now. Arsenal made a sub, though. Lacazette has come off for Martinelli, so he's been on. He's been given at least 35 minutes. So
it'd be nice to see him get some significant time in the Premier League. Jermaine, over to you.
Robertson put in a great ball back stick. Not his strongest part of the game, Mo Salah. Slight deflection off angles, but it just, looking here, slight deflection. Then on to Salah's head, but he couldn't control it. It's gone over the bar. But Aston Villa cannot get out of their half. I mean, they've got everyone in their own half. I think legs are starting to, that the fatigue is starting to creep in, and like I said, they can't be able to contain that pressure for 90 minutes. And now a substitution has been made for Liverpool.
It's big Divock Origi for Mo Salah, whose fitness was questioned before this game. He was substituted in the last Premier League game as well, wasn't it?
Mo Salah's coming off for Ox-Chamberlain, and Origi's came on for, I'm not sure, but I think it will probably one of the midfielders, the Henderson or Wijnaldum.
Oh, wow. It didn't quite make it visible on screen there. We'll confirm that for you. But name me a big match player than Divock Origi right now, because he's coming up with the goods consistently. Time in, time out.
I sat here last time with the 4-0 Barcelona, and what he done for me there, I had a sore throat for about 3 days. Hopefully you can go over another sore throat.
It was Wijnaldum that Divock Origi came off for.
Yes,
just to confirm, and to be honest, I kind of forgot he was in the game, so probably a wise.
Yeah, well, like I said, they're missing the midfield because everyone's in their half. They're all camping now, so...
OK, so let's see if Divock Origi can come up with the goods again, like he did in the Carabao Cup. You've got a little bit quiet. Are you a bit disappointed with how these second halves are unfurling? Because the first half's absolutely electric.
It's been a little bit more quiet, but when you think Southampton is still winning at the Etihad, that's absolutely crazy. And Sheffield United could have made it 4-0. It was a 3-on-2 breakaway. Billy Sharp had a shot, but it was saved by the keeper.
Go on, Ox! Oh, my God!
Is that handball?
Handball! How many? Oh, my God, how many handballs you won?
I'll
tell you what, they are...
Tyrone Mings is a leading candidate for man of the match here. How many clearances? How many goal line clearances?
From VAR, VAR. VAR, please.
Unless one of them was a handball, then of course that changes things.
That was goal bound.
I don't believe it's going to VAR at current. We'll keep you updated on that. Dave, what's happening in the Arsenal game while we get a replay of the Liverpool attempt?
Arsenal had started to get a bit hold of the game a bit more again now, but now Wolves are down the line and it's gone out to a goal kick to Arsenal, so that's good. But very impressive play from Martinelli, actually. He had the ball, he had space running to, and he just took his player on and he managed to commit the player. He managed to get a free kick and the Wolves player was...
It's handball, but
I know he's got
Liverpool have a free.
Bernardo Silva, terrible ball, still another shot.
It was a terrible ball.
Right. I mean, it's frantic now at Villa Park, isn't it?
It's all Liverpool.
Pinball, Jermaine.
All Liverpool. Like I said, I knew they would not be able to contain that pressure for 90 minutes. But now it's just about Liverpool keeping composed and a bit of quality in the final third.
Yeah.
Goal!
William!
The gates have finally been broken. Angus Gunn has been defeated and Sergio Aguero has scored. It was a whipped, driven ball in from the byline and Sergio Aguero, first time finish, right through the keeper. It's been coming, but that's the first shot on target. Man City 1, Southampton 1.
Here it was. Potentially 5 points behind Liverpool as well.
And that is ominous, isn't it?
Exactly.
If they get a win here, Jermaine, and you lose, it starts to feel a little bit like history repeating itself.
It's McCarthy in goal for Southampton, sorry. So,
And it's been a goal on the top left.
Goal!
Great teamwork, lads.
Brighton have scored to make it
I think it's Trossard.
1-1.
1-0 to Brighton. Sorry, there's too many goals. Oh, Sheffield United going close. It's Trossard. He's been an absolute revelation. He came on against Everton the other week, tore the game apart, and he scored for Brighton to make it 1-0 to them. 1-0 Brighton, 1-1 Man City, 3-0 Sheffield United, and 3-0 to Newcastle at West Ham. Just doing that for myself. Oh, great finish.
It was a really nice finish, and you start to worry about Norwich. I mean, away from home, the Amex isn't necessarily an easy place to pick up points for if you're a bottom half side. They play very positive brand of football. But lads, Norwich, do we think they're going down? Because it's starting to feel a little bit beyond them to stay up at this point.
I think there was, the first 3 or 4 games, it was like the honeymoon period.
Pookie going off like a rocket.
Yeah, excited to be in the league, in the Premier League, and they're still bouncing off that high. But now reality's set in and they're seeing how difficult the actual league is. I think, they're going to get found out.
Reminds me of Ian Holloway's Blackpool side, and I think they are slightly more structured, probably have a bit more versatility, tactically speaking. But, when everyone just got on board because it's nice to see a team come up and just go for it fearlessly.
Yeah.
But it's not really giving them a platform to survive at the moment, is it? We got any questions, Duke?
We do. Baskara has said, thanks for showing us this. No worries at all, Baskara. And if you, like Baskara, have just joined us for the first time, remember to subscribe to Soccer AM and Football Daily in the subscribe box below. But Big Bad Tony has got a question about Man City.
Fat Tony's cousin. What?
And he wants to know, basically, he wants to know, Man City, obviously, they look like they're going to get a point now at least, but they've obviously suffered losses to Norwich and Wolves already this campaign. Do we think there's anything fundamentally wrong with Man City, or is it just, injuries that have held them back so far?
No, it's just, listen, it's football. Like I said, that season, last season, Liverpool and Man City had was, a freak of nature, really. You don't really see that happening, seasons after season. So there is going to be losses. There is going to be draws against lower teams. It's just the way it goes. So, I understand that they're not expected to lose against teams like that, but, it's football. It does happen. So you just pick yourself up and bounce back, and that's what great teams do.
Yeah. I mean, if there's something fundamentally wrong with Manchester City, then other clubs...
Well, we might as well just give it.
Yeah, who might as well just pack it in. I still think they're probably the best team in Europe at the moment. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Who are you backing for the title, Liverpool or Manchester City? Let's just discount everyone else right now. Did we answer your question earlier about making up the rest of the top 4? Because I think 3rd and 4th is still very interesting.
Yeah, it's a very good point. I don't know whether we actually got into that. Yeah, do we see Chelsea as potentially the favourites for 3rd, guys, or is it going to be Leicester or Spurs or Arsenal in a bit of a recovery? What do we think?
Strange substitute, sorry.
I think I'd put Chelsea above Leicester.
I agree.
Yeah, I put Chelsea above Leicester, so that's my...
Goal! The comeback is on at West Ham. Dare to dream. I think it's Balbuena who scored. All the centre-backs are scoring at the London Stadium. It's West Ham 1, Newcastle 3. Back to the question.
I like how you can gauge the quality of the goal by your,
Yeah, exactly, by the goal.
By how loud it is. That was like, goal.
Yeah. It's a corner whipped in, near post header. Keeper's had an absolute grueler, and then the ball's been knocked in by Balbuena.
Absolute grueler.
Yeah. Come on, Manny, have a strike. Just slipped him.
Sadio Mane.
Again, it's Sadio Mane. Firmino gave him the ball, about 40 yards away from Villa's goal. He drove it to the centre, at the edge of the box, cut inside, little right foot curler, but
was it wide? Didn't it look, Jermaine?
Yeah, wide. I just lost his foot in here. Look, as a shoot slip there.
Ugly.
Yeah, wide a lot.
Ugly. So you said Chelsea 3rd. Who are you going for 4th?
Oh, it's going to be a good old battle with. I can't see Man U getting it.
Leicester.
Between Leicester and Arsenal, I reckon.
What a top four that'd be. Chelsea third, Arsenal fourth. We kind of wrote off Chelsea as this is a makeshift season. Leicester, everyone was saying they'd be lucky to break the top six. If it did finish like that, it'd be very refreshing, wouldn't it? Dude, what about you, mate?
I think at the moment, I mean, before the season started, I went City, Liverpool, Spurs, and then Arsenal. But I think Spurs is just the biggest drop-off, really, compared to what I was expecting, at least. I don't think anyone really saw the sort of underlying problems that seem to have plagued them so far this year. Players out of contract that should have definitely been sold. Lack of recruitment in the last year before this has seemingly come back to bite them. And if you keep on overachieving in a way, but still don't quite win something, and you're not paid as much, you can sort of see why lots of Spurs players might want to move away.
Oh, no! Oh, no, that's the biggest chance of the game. Jermaine.
Oh, my God, Lallana. It was money, and Firmino linking up again. Firmino got to the byline with Tyrone Mings, literally driven, pull-back shot, cross, put it back right on just before the 6-yard box. He's running, side foot, but not connected it, and it's spilled wide. That's a great opportunity.
It's almost gone for a throw-in. It's almost gone full John O'Shea.
It's come right off his heel. He's not connected straight with it at all. It was a great pullback. You know, the thing in question is a lot of pace on it, and he was running at pace as well. But you know, he done the same kind of goal against Man U, and he slotted that one away.
Difficult, but you hope he's tested.
Yeah.
Yes! Oh no! Oh, David! Oh, David!
Oh, wow. Dave, talk us through it, mate. What a goal.
He is not in the mood for that today.
11 consecutive games now, Hamill.
Rubbing salt in the wound. That is 10 consecutive games where Wolverhampton have scored. It's a new club record.
Wow, what
and
a
look at
moment.
that close-up. It's become an iconic shot on Football Daily. The disappointed David frame, we'll call it. And he looks absolutely fuming. He's having to put up with this.
It was coming.
Oh, wow.
Jackson, break down the goal for us.
It's a stupid manager. It's not even a good. And fair play to him. But a minute ago, he took Traore off for Saka. He took a defensive midfielder off for a... He's just stupid.
That looks like the sort of goal that you'd see on like the pitches of South London on a Sunday afternoon. It was just so basic.
That is championship stuff, sorry, Will. But Socrates, he's got his back turned there, doesn't know where Jimenez is.
Cheap, man.
Callum Chambers on the wrong side of him. That is such an easy... That is a hoof in the box from João Moutinho, isn't it? They're guessing there.
Exactly.
Really poor goal to concede from an Arsenal point of view.
As Duke said, it was definitely coming, and no real complaints there, to be honest.
OK, and you think that substitution's been detrimental to the side?
He's an idiot.
That's on ball! Oh my God! This referee needs to have a word with himself. Unball.
Surely VAR should be picking that up.
Yes, it's a blatant unball. Oh God.
They're still kicking off on this sofa. What happened? What was the context around that shot?
It was Ox-Chamberlain, little, half volley. I know the defender's about 5 yards away from him. He's looked away, but his arm was out. It's directly hit his arm in the box. But the referee just said play on. Why is VAR not having a look at it?
Liverpool have been unlucky with a couple of decisions now, with that offside goal being chalked off as well earlier. I think they'll feel very hard done by in this game, but Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's got a corner.
Doogie, you just became every Liverpool fan's favourite member of Team FD. Adam Lallana with a swing and a miss.
We're not very popular with Liverpool fans.
I've never seen so much defensive blockage than Aston Villa.
Well, they've just brought Hurahan on as well, haven't they? So it looks like from the 75th minute onwards, they're going to set up shop. So you've got...
Which they have done.
You've got 20 minutes of a Villa deploying an even deeper block.
Oh, wow.
Go on then, Will, what's happened?
There's an indirect free kick in the box. Vestergaard had a simple free kick. And he passed it back to Alex McCarthy, who wasn't watching, and he thought he was just being taking a free kick, and he picked it up, and now Man City have got an indirect free kick in the penalty box. Absolute calamity.
I love it when it's a couple of yards.
What are you doing?
I'm going to say about 9 yards out.
Dave, what happened before we go back to the free kick in the box?
Lovely whip ball in, and we've just not made most of it, and now Wolves are on the counter. Brilliant. No, it's hard ball.
Right, back to Will then for this KDB free kick inside the penalty area.
Southampton have defended like absolute lions for about, we're on 76 minutes, apart from obviously the goal, but obviously letting in 9, you think they'd be a bit worse off. And then to make a mistake like this, De Bruyne's got a free shot on goal now. And, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it's 2-1.
Yeah, I've got a really good feeling about this free kick.
De Bruyne is kicking off.
Almost spookily so.
Here we go then. Short free kick. De Bruyne! played.
Oh, and he wasn't happy with the wall, was he? And he's still not happy, and he's remonstrating with the referee. Go on then, Aston Villa! Oh! Oh! Oh!
He's got to shoot himself.
Great build-up play.
Aston Villa.
What happened there?
Who cut inside? El Ghazi. No, Trezeguet cut inside. He faked to shoot. Literally slipped in. Horan, who tried to dink the Alisson, but he came out, saved the day. And then big Van Dijk, the rock of Liverpool, blocked the pullback.
VVD coming up
Chance
trump
Liverpool.
there. But this man Divoc's on, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when with Divock Origi, because he is the biggest match
being
player,
sloppy,
biggest clutch player in the
They're
Premier
rushing
League.
now. Liverpool are starting to rush now and being complacent.
Phil Foden is coming on for Man City.
Hold on. In the 77th minute, Phil Foden is getting more than his customary 3 minutes.
Yep.
Let's hope he can have a big impact here. Phil Foden getting on the pitch. That's what he'd like to see.
Yeah, they'll be
What a
partying in the
player.
streets of Manchester tonight. Phil Foden getting a record 13 minutes on the pitch at the Etihad.
Hold on, because Dave Jackson is on the floor. What has happened, Dave?
Chance for... Oh, you
Sugar.
Rein it back in.
Saka looking lively though, Dave.
They're all looking lively, buddy. Just not doing much with it.
Groovy, baby.
Oh, ref!
Oh.
Right, let's go back to the best of the rest.
Slide Mane.
Oh, or not.
No.
Go on then, Jermaine. What's happened?
Oh, it's a little...
What a tackle.
I tell you what,
Challenge.
just
Is that
defend
Nakamba?
him with all life. That's not a free kick. Play up better, referee. Better. Someone's had a word with you, haven't they?
Come on.
Come on,
Ozil.
Liverpool.
Straight on Socrates' box.
Just
Come on.
honestly, they've got about 10 bodies inside the box.
Dangerous free kick for Norwich as well. It looks like Buendia standing over it, I think. Let me check my notes, but it's a dangerous free kick, and it's obviously still 1-0 to Brighton. What if they could get a point there for Norwich? I'm not going to say it could be a catalyst, but it's nice for them, and it keep them going, keep them
To get
ticking.
anything away from home.
Who's standing over this? I think it is
I've got to say, marvellous Nakamba, just to interject while you find out who's taking a free kick,
Buendia.
is playing really well.
Great, isn't he?
Yeah, him and Tyrone Mings have been standout performers for Aston Villa today. Mings has blocked everything, cleaned up a lot. It's frustrating to say. I'm not liking it at the minute.
Is it starting to look a little bit more desperate out there? Or
Yeah, no, it is. It's starting to look a little bit desperate. They're getting a little bit, panicky, giving the ball away in the and like I said before, it's going to be a tough stadium to go to. Oh, easy, Alisson.
So I think at this point, would you say a point is a decent result?
I would take a point, especially if.
Oh dear, what's happened there then? What's prevented the goal?
I thought Aguero had won it. I thought Aguero had won it for Manchester City.
Hold on, we had a few big incidents there. Will, you go first.
I'm having a heart attack.
Will, have you
Oh my, sorry, the
Reboot.
do you need me to reset you?
back in the game. Yeah, Aguero turn, swivel, classic Aguero, and the angle I was watching at, it hit the back of the stanchion and then right across. Thought it got in, and then there was a goal line scramble there where they could have made it 2-1. It's all Man City. The camera angle's just staying the same. It doesn't need to move.
Kick someone out!
Oh, the ball squeezed.
David, what happened there then? Mez, it looks like
He's done fantastic there. He's picked it. We just haven't scored. Poor. That's smart analysis, mate. There you go. There's Guendouzi on the
looks
ball.
like
He's
he's-
driving. He's picking him up. Mez it. Put it on someone's head. Come on. Shoot.
Arsenal actually struggling to get into the box there, despite Dave's frantic commentary. And Wolves have cleared it again.
Danny Ings coming off for Southampton.
That man, Danny Ings. Right, let's just take a breather then. What happened with the chance at Villa Park that enabled them to win a corner, relieve some pressure? Ultimately, El Ghazi just fouled Oxlade-Chamberlain. But I saw a little dinked effort, or am I imagining things?
Yeah, it was again counter-attack again because they've got everyone behind the ball. It was free on free, and I think Ghazi tried to pull it back for Horan, who, Trent Alexander got back just in time. But came off it, he actually kicked it away from Horan and it went over the bar. But from our angle, it looked like it was lobbing Alisson.
Liverpool putting together a nice little move here. Winning a throw in deep in the Villa half. Come on, then.
I'd love to see the percentage of this game.
I want Liverpool to score. I want this title race to stay interesting, OK? Dave is shushed everyone in the studio. What's happened, mate?
This game is literally on a knife edge. Right? It's going back and forth. Both teams could definitely get a winner here. We need to get Ozil on the ball more, because when he gets on the ball, we're actually creating an end product. We're not quite taking them at the moment, but at least we are creating chances. And then Wolves, like the other end, they look like they could score as well. Yeah. So there's definitely going to be a winner.
Great that you've seen out of 90. Well, you say that Wolves have drawn 6 games this season in the Premier League. So this would be bang on trend for them, wouldn't it? They had a horrible start.
It's now a corner to Wolves, so
and it's been hard to beat ever since, really. Dougie, what questions are hard to beat?
A couple of good questions, actually. But it's just worth bearing in mind that people are going nuts over the fact that this would just be Liverpool's something like 2nd defeat in about 49 games. Absolutely mental. Fair play to Villa. No worries.
I've never seen a team work this hard.
Really, it's Villa?
Their striker, now he's taking a breather. He's run back and forth, chasing Virgil in the back and Lovren to try and close the ball down. And this sums up the whole game.
I mean, there's also a lot of anger in the comments saying Emery out. There's a lot of anger against Arsenal. SGT Cracky Nut 666 has asked, is it Emery's fault our defence is bad, or do you think the players just simply aren't doing well enough at the back, Dave?
No! Alex McCarthy's flapped at one and Kyle Walker has scored for Man City. The title race is well and truly alive and kicking. It may be raining at the Etihad, but the fire is burning in the title race. Unbelievable scenes. Can they go on and win it? They've defended so well, Southampton, but they've cracked at the end.
That's a collector's item as well, a Kyle Walker goal. What sort of finish was it? Because I'm just seeing the back of his head.
Yeah, it's a cross in.
Repopulated with hair now.
Alex McCarthy's got a hand to it, and as he's tried to catch it, Kyle Walker's sliding in, and it's in the back of the net. What is your look? Southampton... Sorry.
See, do you think that's title race on now? I think Liverpool need to build a healthy lead going into the back end of the season for it to be title race on, because if City get close, it just feels very ominous. They just grow and grow and grow in stature, don't they? And Guardiola is very good over the course of the season.
Game, set and match to Brighton. Norwich look resigned to another away defeat. I think it's Dale Stevens, I want to say. He's got the biggest smile on his face. They're all patting him on the head, so he must have done something good, and he's made it 2-0 to Brighton.
It might be the centre half, mate. We'll get clarification on that in a moment, but if it's
Go on!
Dale Stevens, then fair play to him. Dave, more frustration at the Emirates?
More frustration. Yeah, we are at least creating. We're just not taking. Oh, chance for Liverpool!
Oh, it's a great ball in from Trent Alexander, whizzed across the box.
This is ridiculous. We need to win. And he's taking Keane.
Villa.
I anticipate Dave walking out in about 3 minutes.
2-1-2 in the back.
But until then, let's remind ourselves of the fact that Villa are doing this without Captain Fantastic. As Will pointed out earlier on in the show, they're very reliant on him at various quarters last season. Much more of a team effort in this game. Is Naby Keita on?
Yes, Naby Keita on. He came on for... I'm too busy watching, trying to score. I don't even know.
No, we'll get clarification on that. But he's on, another attack-minded player for Liverpool, someone that can break down a sitting defence. William.
It was Shane Duffy. They checked it on VAR, and it's now 2-0 to Brighton.
Shane.
Apologies to anyone who was offended that I identified Dale Stevens as Duffy there.
Maybe his mum.
It was Alana that
Big
came
fan
on.
of Football Social.
Massive apology to Brighton fan number 1. I think he's our only Brighton fan on Football Daily.
Help him.
Well, I mean,
we're going away from the ball.
Help him out. Action-packed day, gentlemen, but the big game seemed to be winding down somewhat. Will?
Pep's been absolute little boy there.
What's happened?
So basically, when it was 1-1 Southampton, basically the ball came to the dugout and the Southampton players weren't giving it back in the coaching staff. Now Man City are 2-1 up. Pep's like passing the ball around to his coaching staff saying, if you like it, I'll give you a bit of taste of your own medicine.
OK, a bit of tit for tat there. We expect better from the best manager in world football, edging out Southampton at the moment. So... valuable 3 points, though, as we've pointed out. Saka here in a promising position for Arsenal. Dave? Oh, it's gone backwards. Sorry, mate. I was teeing you up there for nothing.
No, but he's like doing well to get in a position, but he's not a winger. His talent is not crossing the ball. He should be in the box. It's stupid. We don't actually have any tactics. It's Unai Emery again. Oh,
what a ball! Yeah! Yeah! That's it! Get in there! Get in there! Andy Robertson, great goal. I knew it was coming. Where's VAR now? Stuff the VAR up, you Backside. Come on, Liverpool.
What an unlikely source for the goal. Robertson.
God. With hope in your heart. Go on, Liverpool. It was coming. Knock it. Hello, Liverpool.
City are in for a third here. Raheem Sterling, you're my captain. Do something good. He hasn't.
Cheers, captain.
Oh, no.
Great ball for Mane. It was coming.
Break down the goal for us.
A ball. Listen, it was a passage of play, right hand side to the ball to Mane.
What a ball.
Imagine the box. He's cut inside, left foot dink, back stick. Robertson bombing on, header inside the 6-yard box, roof of the net. 1-1.
That's 3 games in a row with late Liverpool goals.
Yes.
Man United, Spurs, and now Villa. Whatever you say about their performance today, like this side do not give up easily.
No,
And let's not-
and that's the signs of a championship team, and that's probably where they've learnt from last season. Not to give up and go to the 90 minutes.
Oh my God! Another goal.
West Ham
Another West
goal.
Ham goal.
Oh, sorry, John Lundstram nearly had a hat-trick again, and Robert Snodgrass has scored 3-2. The miracle of London Stadium could be alive and well. We've seen some great comebacks over the years, Chris, but this could be up there within the top 20 of comebacks in the last 2 years.
Okay.
Oh, it's a great finish. Ball comes at the edge of the area from the byline. Snodgrass is right on the edge of the area, in the D, left-footed drive, and it's 3-2. Game on there.
Emphatic finish from Snodgrass there. He's been in a decent vein of form since working his way back into the side, hasn't he? That's a couple goals in as many match weeks, I believe, could stand corrected on that front. And let's not underestimate the energy levels from Robertson there to be in the 6-yard box as Mane puts it on a plate for him. Absolutely outstanding athleticism from the Scotsman. God, have we got any questions just to give ourselves a breather?
We certainly do, and there's also been some enormous results from around Europe as well, which I thought our fans might be interested. Bayern lost 5-1 to Eintracht Frankfurt, and Barcelona lost 3-1 to Levante. It's all kicking off, not just in England, but in Europe. But we've got a question to Dave Jackson from not my man Marshall, and he wants to know: have Arsenal fans been vindicated by calling for Ozil so long by his performance today? And do you think Ozil should stay in the starting lineup for the foreseeable future? Foreseeable future.
Don't get me wrong, there's certain games where Ozil should not play. When we go away to the Etihad or to Anfield, I don't think he should play. But in games like this, where we're going to have a lot of the ball and teams are going to sit back, he should 100% start.
But it's even against the big sides, like he used to be Real Madrid's go-to man in the big games. Like I even feel like he's unfairly judged when Arsenal fans feel like they're going to be up against it. I don't know about his performance in this game specifically. So treating this game as an isolated 90, Dave. How impactful has he been?
He's been very, very good. He's been very, very good. But again, at the moment, with the current team we don't actually have a formation. Like it's not like Unai's made some tactics to try and win the game. He's just put 5 strikers on and gone go. There's no tactical in that. Like the thing there.
5 minutes at Villa Park. 5 minutes at Villa Park of stoppage time.
How long is Arsenal?
Just in case you didn't catch that from Jermaine, 5 minutes at Villa Park. And I can't get over the 5-1 Bayern Eintracht Frankfurt. If you want to know more about that game, we'll cover it on Euro Football Daily. Go and subscribe to our sister channel after this stream. Goodness, what a result in the Bundesliga. But we've still got plenty of football left in the Premier League to cover here. Will, what else is going on?
It's all West Ham down at the London Stadium in the Andy Carroll derby. He doesn't know who to support. He can look both ways. Well, he'll probably support Newcastle as a placement. But yeah, it's all West Ham. Balbuena is about to dink one in the box. It's gone back stick. It's cleared away by Newcastle. They got a chance to get away. Brighton could have made it 3. It's all Sheffield United in the Burnley game, and Man City are playing keep ball against Southampton, which is something we didn't think we'd see when they lost 9-0.
What are you doing there, Socrates?
the editors...
Full time at Sheffield United.
OK, Chris Wilder's men securing an emphatic home victory there, and they're working their way at the table nicely.
Sick,
aren't they? Sick.
They've gone above Manchester United after that win.
I feel very silly for underestimating them to the extent that I did, to be perfectly honest. Doogie, I'm with you in that regard.
Hey, we all have them.
Let's go to the final scenes at Sheffield United, where we can confirm it finished 3-0.
Just as I said it would. Home win, baby.
Called it on the group bet, which I'm imagining we will revisit at the end of the feature games. Cool, blimey, Doogie.
Close them down!
I was going to say give us a couple of questions, but going over to Dave now. What happened there? Why are you yelping?
Well,
free kick! Oh no, ref, there's no play on advantage. Free kick, edge of the box.
Oh,
free kick, edge of the box. Come on, Liverpool.
Let's go.
Step up. Free kick, literally on the edge of the D, right in the centre of the goal. Yeah, edge of the D, centre of the box.
How's Chamberlain been since he's come on?
He's been lively. He's looked to get the ball attack, driving the defence, put him under a bit of pressure. So he's done well.
All over at the Emirates drop
Oh,
point.
it is literally on the edge of the 18D.
It's got to be Trent.
From the free kick that he took against Chelsea, it has to be Trent.
That was a beautiful goal.
Yeah,
I love that
But
goal.
I'm thinking, is this a little bit closer?
Lads, if this goes in, we're picking Jackson up.
Chris, just before the free kick, Pep going absolutely ballistic at the Etihad. I don't know what
Preparing
over.
immediate
I'm standing up as well because I don't know.
Any liquids in
What's
there?
all laptops?
Come on.
Just wait, if you come back here, you've got room to celebrate.
You've got Robertson and Trent standing over the ball now, but
Mate, I want you to DDT me through this table if it goes in.
where's Henderson going,
Offside,
mate?
Man City, Pep Guardiola in Ralph's face going, stick it, you shouldn't have kept the ball, it's 2-1 Man City, title race back on.
OK, so looks like no love lost there between the two managers at the end, but Manchester City securing a valuable 3 points, clawing back two on Liverpool unless they wrap away this free kick. You imagine this might be the last chance despite that lengthy
This feels
5
huge.
minutes. This could be seminal. We've built this up, lads. We've built this up massively. If it just floats
Oh,
over,
mate, this is great
won't
stuff.
float
just
over.
cut the stream.
Definitely test
Cut
the
the
keep.
stream. Come on, Trent. Cometh the man.
Robertson, go away, mate, please.
We can have a bit.
Corner took a slight deflection.
No,
It took a deflection.
Oh, lovely lunge from
It was a
you.
great
I think that was
strike.
going on target.
It was,
as well.
it was going on target. It took a little deflection and gone over the
Trent,
bar.
that was your moment. He knows it as well.
The thing is, it was a little bit close to,
It
we
was,
had to
it was.
whip and dip. A bit of my expertise there, but
The Bravka's on the ball.
Would you have gone for the same corner?
no, I don't whipped it to the goalkeeper's right.
One more
Trent
chance still, though.
Yeah, it's corner ball. I think last roll of the dice here.
It's got a minute and a half.
Get in there! That's what I'm talking about. I want to go over for something.
I'm just thinking of the views.
Come on!
I'm just thinking of the views.
Dream team's on flame today.
Sorry, Villa fans.
Love it, Liverpool. I love this stuff. It's what dreams are made of. Oh my God, Sadio Mane, my hero. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Mo Salah injured, a little bit off the pace, but Sadio Mane, what a finish.
Look at this header.
Wow.
The 6 point gap is
No
on as
VAR
well.
on that. Get lost VAR. Oh, what a
Terrible
header.
defence,
What
they've gone
a
to
finish.
sleep.
Oh, it's the substitute as well. You just brought him on.
Great pace,
You bring him on to shut up shop.
and then he got great pace on the corner. Wasn't necessarily one of Trent's best corners, but Sadio Mane has found a way
That is fantastic.
to convert it.
Oh my
Liverpool
God,
fans,
mate.
give us your reactions
that'll
in the
go for
comments
free.
below. If you've
Here it
just
goes,
joined us,
Origi!
take it to the corner.
Take it to the corner.
Divock.
Oh,
Origi winning a free kick.
The king.
Absolute scenes.
Good stuff, great
Absolute.
scenes. Voice is going, I love it.
Absolute scenes. Jermaine, you're a bit of a good look charm on this.
Oh, mate, Football Social. I'll have you on
On Football Social.
See you next week. See you next week, lads.
That's Barcelona. That's a late win at Villa Park,
Dean
keeping them
Smith looks dejected.
keeping them well ahead in the title
South-
You
race.
know what it sets up so nicely? Next weekend, Liverpool City.
Yeah.
Huge on Sunday.
This is what we
know,
live.
City-
These are the moments we live for.
City fans are going to be devastated. I know they
And
thought
Villa
they,
fans as
I
well.
thought they claimed 2 points there by
Pep
Liverpool.
Guardiola does have Football
Yeah.
Daily notifications turned on, so he will be getting news of that goal and scenes of, Jermaine Pennant doing a little backflip in the studio. Did it happen? I'm
God.
not sure.
It's all over
final
in Villa
whistle.
Park! And Sadio Mane, Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 1.
That is
Oh, my
about
God.
as last gasp as you can possibly. Yeah, let's have a look at what that means to the Liverpool players. It's all smiles at the
Look
final
at it.
whistle. Jurgen Klopp. He's muted his celebrations then, showing Dean Smith a little bit of respect. The Aston
Got
Villa,
the Villa players
fully
Dejected.
fully out of gas. Let's not take the result shouldn't take away from what was a very stoic performance by Aston Villa.
Oh, yeah.
And if they can continue to defend like that for the rest of the season, because we said they were good going forward but poor in defence, then they may well be fine.
Well, give us
your feelings.
They put all doubters wrong there. They defended absolutely amazing. Tyrone Mings was solid at the back. Johnny McGinn running his socks off. You know, even the strikers was chasing lost calls, chasing the defenders down, putting pressure on them. It was a fantastic defensive team performance, solid for Aston Villa. And like I said, if they continue to play like that, they will definitely, you know, stop conceding goals and secure their place for next season in the Barclays Premier League. And you can hear my voices are already going. I love it. I love this game.
It just feels like another massive moment in the title race. Like, Liverpool haven't had it all their own way this year. Like, the Chelsea game was very tight. United, they came back. They conceded in the first minute against Spurs. And yet they are finding ways to go, 10 wins out of 11? Absolutely remarkable.
This is where they're going one better than last season. Last season, this would have been a 1-1. Could have even been a loss, but now they're just digging deep and they're finding last-minute winners, which are crucial, even for draws, last-minute goals, crucial in the league to maintain their streak in a title race.
Well, gentlemen. I mean, we didn't just cover that game, did we, today? David?
The Anfield faithful.
David, we're coming over to you now for the...
Oh, it's so cheap.
For a summary. Summary of the Arsenal performance.
There was patches they play well.
Okay.
But it's just not good enough. It's not good enough. For the others who play well, as I said, there was definite times in the game where we played okay, and probably I think a draw was fair. And that's not when you're playing at home. That is not good enough, and that is not good enough to get into the top four. So we have to really sort our... we need to book our ideas up, Christopher Hamill. I'm not happy, mate. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, no, he's smiling, but I assure you after the show that it will be laden with expletives as we leave. Here comes the table then. So Liverpool still sitting pretty at the top, leading Manchester City by 6 points thanks to that Sadio Mane header. Look at City's goal difference. They are still hounding them down, aren't they? Leicester remain third for the time being on 20 points, level with Chelsea, but not just pipping them on goal difference, absolutely obliterating them. Manchester United, that loss today to Bournemouth sees them sitting in 10th below Crystal Palace. Didn't mean to sound very condescending there to Crystal Palace. Apologies, Palace fans. And let's have a look at the bottom half. Watford, Norwich, Southampton. So, I mean, they really could have used even a point, couldn't they, to bring them back into contention for clawing their way to some semblance of safety. West Ham pretty quickly. Tottenham moving down to 13th, but of course have a game in hand. Right, let's get some final questions in. Critch.
Well, we've got loads of comments. Tom says he's jumping on his bed, shouting. We were doing the same in here. Ariel
jumping on Tom's bed? When was that?
Yeah, we all just had it in here. Noah says, goodbye, Emery. I won't miss you. Ariel Hassan says, thanks for the emotion, guys. Awesome show. Pothead Essence wants to know, though, to Jermaine, do you think, how massive do you think that win will be come the end of the year?
Absolutely huge. Not only for the moral boost that to score last minute. It's like you saw the reaction to the staff on the bench, the players on the bench. It was like a final. Games like that win your titles, win your trophies. So it could have been 2 points dropped. So it's going to be huge. Every point gained or equal to Man City is absolutely huge. So, I'm over the moon, and like I said, it could be the decider for winning the league or not.
What's the change room like in a match where the result's been like that? Do you think Liverpool players, given how professional they are, will just be all right on to the next game, or is it?
No, they're going in there. You're hearing screaming, woo, bottles throwing, squirting, like it literally. Them results. They feel like a final. They feel like you've won a final, honestly, because dominating so long, the frustration that would have been built up on the pitch, of the team camping, trying to not concede, and you just plugging away, knocking on the door and not going in. Then to score it in the last minute is more satisfying than scoring it in winning 2-1 from the first 2 minutes. So it's going to be a great emotion in that change room, and I wish I was there.
Yeah, it just gives them that momentum, which is priceless. Do you get any more questions?
Paddy MC says Barcelona lost by Valverde, but Donaka Coogan wants to know, Will, you were the guy that managed to watch most Man City today.
Yeah.
What was why were they struggling so much in that opening half? Were they just not really creating much, or what was going wrong?
Well, they didn't have any shots on target, as we kept repeating, and I think Southampton, to their credit, defended really well. They were really narrow and just weren't even allowing the shots to come on target. And I think it was a mistake by McCarthy for the winner, but even then they were still trying to get a result and trying to get a equaliser. I don't know, just something doesn't feel right in Man City, because I know you were saying about the title race still being, Liverpool clear now, 7 points?
Still open, mate. Still
open. I don't know, just something.
That game next weekend.
They need to go out and buy some. I don't understand why they don't play some of the more youthful centre backs as well, like Fernandinho and John Stones. I think they're conceding quite a lot of goals and being a lot more open. So I think it's going to be different, like you said.
Yeah, on the subject of Manchester City, then now feels like the perfect time to plug next week's show, which is going to be huge on the Football Social.
Wow,
Liverpool versus Manchester City. I think 6-pointer probably doesn't do it justice.
No.
You need to get me involved. I need to be here. I need to keep the run going. Especially will Jermaine Pennant return? Find out by tuning in at 4 p.m. on the Football Daily and Soccer M YouTube pages. It's been an absolute pleasure, gentlemen. Liverpool's lucky charm. Jermaine Pennant, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
Dave Jackson looking as deflated. Seb, I feel like that's just your token face now on this show. Doogie, excellent, mate.
Now this, mate. Done.
Oh, we got through almost 2 hours of stream without mentioning the rugby. And Will, excellent, mate. Thank you. Here is the best bits from the show. It's been great having you guys. Make sure you subscribe to both channels. Bye.
Peace. Expected goals as well. I did.
Southampton have scored! Do we have a flash? Southampton have scored! Yes! The commentator's come! Look at that! Now he's got egg on his face, Will.
I love a fried egg right on my face. Oh, 1-0 to the tune.
Goals galore. What's happened?
I can't believe I just celebrated the Newcastle goal.
Which is fair play. Go on, John! Lacquer!
Oh, yeah! Dream team, baby! Oh, my goodness gracious!
Trezeguet.
He's all popping up on the social.
Oh, no! No, VAR, please.
I've had a shocker. I had the pie. I was the pie man. What was in the pie? What was it?
Leek
Gammon and Leek.
I should have got here. I'm sorry. So
And it's been a goal on the top left.
goal!
Great teamwork, lads, today.
11 consecutive games now, Hamill.
Rubbing salt in the wound. That is 10 consecutive games where Wolverhampton have scored. It's a new club record.
Wow,
And look at that close-up. It's become an iconic shot on Football Daily. The disappointed David frame, we'll call it.
What a ball!
Yeah!